This week on the show, we all decide that Ben fucking hates us. I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
I'm Ben.
This is Bad Movies,
Worst People.
This week, we have 1980s Midnight Madness.
It is mad.
From the Disney Corporation.
It's madness.
The second PG film the Disney Corporation ever made.
This is a boob comedy without boobs or comedy.
I laughed like 3 times.
Okay.
Some of it was pretty good.
Is that your bar for comedies? If I can get 3 laughs out of this, the new Anchorman is going to be great. You know what? I think I laughed 3 times for Anchorman too.
We definitely did have an honest good laugh at the end.
Okay.
like LOL laugh.
The pool?
Yeah. No, those at the very end.
Okay.
We'll
have to remind me.
Yeah, I was about to say I did
laugh.
genuinely laugh like 3 times. I couldn't tell you when they were.
All right.
I just know the one.
I know of one for me.
Oh, dude, Fagabeefy.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
The first, dude, when I was like 10 years old watching this and I heard Fagabeefy, I nearly shit my pants. Dude, that was like the funniest thing that anyone had ever said to me.
So then, why did you recommend us this movie?
Because it was terrible. Like, not
And the
only
name
was
of
it
the
terrible,
podcast
it
is
was
Bad
too
Movies.
long. Like, it was too long and terrible the whole time.
What did we come in
Oh,
at?
God.
152?
It was like
152.
152.
112 minutes, yeah, so 152.
Yeah. God, just shy of 2 hours.
Dude,
Dude,
it
we
was
were watching
insane.
this, and
Madness.
I was sitting there, and I was like, well, at least it's almost over. And then I looked at the clock, and I was like, it's 3 o'clock. That means there's an hour and a half left on this movie almost. I'm going to kill
Yep.
myself.
Yeah.
Then we were half hour into the movie, and I was like, well, at least it's almost over.
So yeah, I would say.
Not even close.
Oh, yeah, Ben, did you want to do the rundown? The 30 seconds
No, he
or less?
doesn't want
He
to.
doesn't want to do it.
I can do it.
I couldn't
Go for
get
it.
my words
I'll do it.
together.
Okay, ready? Rat Race meets Animal House. Done.
I mean, that does work. Wacky Racers meets Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, there you go.
A bunch of teenagers terrorized the city of Los Angeles for a $4 plaque.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Done.
it. I
See,
mean,
we
so
could've
have
made
we
this
even
movie.
said the name?
Yeah, we did.
Midnight
Good.
Madness.
Midnight Maddening.
1980s Midnight Madness.
Directed by Michael Nankin, who
And somebody else, according to IMDb. It had two
yes,
directors.
Michael Nankin and David Wechter. Thank you.
Did somebody leave, or they just kind of...
No, it
someone
was-
got the
they
first. Someone got the first hour. The other person got the last hour.
No, they were recording. It's a pretty low budget. I don't think I got the budget, or I did. It's $4.5 million movie. They were
Okay.
recording simultaneously to get it done quickly.
Gotcha.
So, like, while these guys are at this location, these guys are at this location.
You always wonder when you see 2 directors,
Yeah.
like, did somebody drop out because they couldn't
No,
agree
these
with
2 were
Disney?
working together purposely. They had previously done a movie called like Junior High or something, like a little short or something
Is
together.
that when Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger smoke a joint?
It's the combination of
I've got
Junior
the
and How
munchies.
High.
Let's go get some Haagen-Dazs. It is the best ice cream ever.
DeVito's trying to get Arnold to smoke a joint, but I was like, I can't. I'm pregnant. I have a baby inside of me.
Come on, breathing embryonic fluid. It's gonna be fine.
Michael Nankin wrote The Gate, which is going to be on this show eventually,
Not
but
the
it's
Johnny
pretty
Depp?
cool. No, Stephen Dorff, whatever,
Oh.
as a wee bab.
Oh, a little baby.
Yeah, there's like a gate to hell opens in his backyard, and then demons take over his house.
I feel
Sounds
like
delightful.
I saw that.
I made you watch it. I loved it. I remember loving it. I'd seen it a bunch of times all the way up until like my 20s, and I haven't seen it since then. And we recently watched it, and like 3/4 of the way through, I was like, "Good God, this movie's awful."
Well, but it's got Stephen Dorff.
Yeah, David Wechter, the other guy, he wrote The Faculty.
Oh, I've heard
shit.
about
Which-
that movie.
I love.
I did
It's
like the
stupid.
Faculty.
It'll also be on
I
the show.
don't think I've seen it since like the year it came out.
Can I be on
and
that
I
one?
liked it.
Yeah, you can be on that
Okay.
one.
Isn't Jon Stewart like a teacher
Jon Stewart
or
is a
principal
teacher.
or some shit?
One of those little fucking floppy-haired shit kids from the 90s isn't the
Josh
star.
Hartnett?
Yeah, there you go.
Josh Hartnett. Wow.
I was like, it's him
Where did he
or
go?
that other one.
I've heard I heard
He was-
recently about people who have.
He was on Black Mirror episode.
Like a recent one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like one of the newest ones. And
He
he was
left
also
after the
in.
90s.
He's in Oppenheimer.
Isn't he?
Oh, is he? Good for him.
Yeah, he's in Oppenheimer.
His little squinty lemon face has always been fun to look at.
Oh, he was in Pearl Harbor.
He
right?
looks like a hot dude that
He
just
was
sucked
in
on a
Pearl
lemon.
Harbor. I think Pearl Harbor was like the end, and
Yeah.
then he kind of went away for a
Black
while.
Hawk Down.
But he's in Oppenheimer, and he's pretty good. I mean, everybody in that movie is pretty fucking good. So
Did you ever see the porn parody of that called Black Cock Clown? Pretty good. I know who he is.
He's a pretty
hot,
guy.
He's hot lemon face. He's like a male version of Renee
I had to
Zellweger.
find a picture of this guy.
one of these guys, they both directed a lot of TV. But this is like the only real movie they directed. I think.
Yeah.
Real movie.
Well, it's a movie.
I mean,
It's
it
a
had-
feature film.
It had a
Sorry.
theatrical release.
I mean,
its
and
own
well,
thong.
the movie cost $4.5 million. I mentioned that, right?
Yes.
It made about $2.9 million. So that might explain why they directed
Who
TV.
the fuck went and saw this?
2.9 million people.
They all paid $1
Movie
to
tickets
see
were only
it.
$1 in the 80s, right?
In the 80s, they actually paid you to go see movies.
They're like, tell your
Fucking
friends.
Welcome to Reagan's
I
America.
don't know. It was like $5 to see a movie back in the 80s, wasn't it?
I don't know, dude.
It
I was
probably
born in the 80s.
Depends on when you went, but
Yeah, I wasn't even out when this movie was.
Wasn't it? Wasn't
No,
it 81?
80.
Oh,
80.
it was 80.
Straight 80.
My mom was pregnant.
And you
maybe
can
I went.
tell it's straight 80 because the opening, these chicks are on like the
Ooh.
precipice of being 70s.
Yes,
no,
I'm digging
it was.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Well, because roller disco was 79.
Yeah.
Like I think halfway through 79.
Yeah. Well,
so
I
this
just
was
mean-
like the tail end of the and like the theme song.
The theme
The
song.
theme song was very disco.
It had about 8 words that it just said over and over and went on way
Yeah.
too. I'm going
I
to
don't
complain
remember how
a
it
lot
went.
this episode.
I don't remember how it went. I just know it was something.
when
something.
midnight
Madness
madness
Stop
starts to get to you.
But you know what this movie didn't
doesn't
have?
Vietnam
matter
flashbacks,
what you
dude.
say.
There was no cotillion
it
in this
doesn't
movie.
matter
God damn it.
what you do.
I can play this song
It's
at that
gotta
cotillion.
be.
All right, you wanna get in it?
Midnight
I
Madness.
think,
letting Ben sing
yeah,
the
I think
song.
we just found Ben's new karaoke song.
This song is so sick. Like sometimes, like literally, I have not seen this movie since I was a child.
Yeah.
That song pops into my head at least twice a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm like, I need to see
It
that
just
movie
stuck
again.
with you that long,
Yeah,
huh?
like it's just like that because like we saw that movie and then we saw that movie like 2 more times,
Okay.
and it was just like, why are we still?
So, a
watching
question
this?
for you: who in your family hated you?
My stepdad,
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
who
used
introduced this movie to me.
as a punishment tool?
No, he said we used to watch this movie all the time because it was like they would show this on TV. Like it would be like one of those shitty movies they just play.
And
like,
he would watch it on purpose.
Yeah, well, he had a younger sister.
Speaking of people watching it on purpose, it's actually a pretty big, or it was like a big, like cult classic, like VHS thing. These 2 guys who made it, they said they didn't realize that people actually gave a shit until like later in their careers, and they would be going in to meet with like directors or producers or whatever who were people that were kids when this movie came out, and they would be like starstruck, like, holy shit, you guys made Midnight Madness. Like,
Wow.
people loved this movie.
I can't imagine who.
I'd
there is-
never even heard of it,
Oh,
and when I was
it's
trying to look
not
up fun
great,
facts, I Googled
but-
it, and all these pages came. I was like, oh, 15 facts about Midnight Madness. You didn't know this about Midnight Madness. I'm like, I didn't even know it existed.
There's one fact I do want to fast forward to just because at
So
the time.
I'm glad I could introduce this to you guys.
Oh,
Well, I
but I'm-
fucking loved it.
But
I'm
I'm
glad you
sorry.
introduced it
I'm
as
sorry
well.
that it fits this podcast very well.
Something great though is, spoilers for it, the recently late and great Paul Rubens has a
Yes.
speaking role in this movie, and I perked up. I was out of this movie. I didn't give a shit.
This is like-
I was
this is-
counting the minutes, and then
is
all of a
this the
sudden,
day
I was
after?
so fucking happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Paul Rubens died
This
yesterday.
episode comes out in September,
Yeah.
but we're recording it the day after Paul Rubens passed away in August.
Yeah, so he's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
That was a big celebrity death that most of the time I don't care about, but this one was like a.
This one was close to
This
home,
is
man.
someone who helped raise us.
Yeah.
Great timing.
So yeah, great timing.
Great timing for
Thank
him
you,
to
Ben.
die.
So golf clap. I'm glad he was in this.
I'm
movie.
glad I could smite him right before we right before we put this
You
episode
might want to
out,
rephrase that.
so that there is some reverence, a tone of reverence over this podcast.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
We're remembering him as he was a great cowboy.
It was Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
Paul
not
Rubens.
Pee-wee.
Yeah, he wasn't doing his voice.
Yeah.
He was speaking as
He's
he
got
normally-
a voice.
He's got a voice, but it's
not his
yeah.
voice.
I'm trying to give some change.
His character in this actually kind of reminded me of when he's in his own movie at the end of Big Adventure.
With
Yes.
the chaps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, not when he's the cowboy, but like at the end of Big Adventure when they're doing
In
the
the movie
version
when
with
he's the
James
bellhop?
Brolin and
Paging
Morgan
Mr. Herman.
Fairchild.
Paging Mr. Herman.
Yeah,
Yes.
it reminded me of that because he was just the guy behind the counter.
Yeah.
And also his little gun. We'll get there.
Yeah, I want that change gun.
So this movie starts with roller skating co-eds, as we said. Very 70s
Short
looking.
shorts.
Yes.
High
This is where I
socks.
start to think
With-
it's going to be a
with the
sexy
theme
little
song.
boob comedy.
Yeah.
Because
It's
we're
got all the
focusing. It's
elements,
not
just not boobs.
Yeah, it's not
Well-
like gratuitous, but we're seeing some of these girls' butts.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's tight fitting shorts.
This is
wanna
actually
say-
surprising to me that this is PG.
Yeah.
Like PG-13 maybe, because there's some
Dude,
there are some there's
It
some
is
very
direct
adult humor.
references to alcohol.
There's a guy almost
clue?
drowns in a
Boobs.
vat of
A
beer.
guy gets drunk.
They're staring down a chick's fucking cleavage top.
Between her melons.
Yeah, that's a part of the. Oh, that is, dude. That's insane. I
yeah,
forgot
it's
about
the
that.
new show, Boobs Clues.
Yes. Yeah.
So these girls are skating
Every
around
time
there,
I watch
and they're-
that, I grow up.
We get 10 minutes of no dialogue, just this intro song.
It's the song, and the girls
Yeah.
are handing out
Cards.
They're handing out
invitations to all these
invitations.
people. One of whom is Eddi Deezen, who was previously on this show in the trash movie Laser Blast.
Oh, okay. I
He's
didn't-
the nerdy, goofy guy. He was in Grease. He's in
Yeah.
a movie called Surf 2 that we'll probably do on here. There was
I didn't
no Surf 1.
recognize a lot of his stuff. Or any.
He's just kind of he was a nerd in nerd stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But Grease is his biggest thing.
But
Yeah.
not Revenge of the Nerds.
No, he lost out to the guy that played Lewis, and he's probably pissed.
Is Lewis the
I
main
was
one?
trying to do it,
Yeah.
but I was like,
That's Robert Carradine,
Okay.
David Carradine's brother.
Really?
Yeah.
oh, shiza.
And then we're also introduced to Stephen Furst of Animal House fame. He's the big fat one that's not Bluto.
I want to say Flounder.
Howard.
Harold.
Well,
Harold.
Harold in this, but in
Harold.
In Animal House, I think he's Flounder.
Flounder, I think.
Okay.
He's the
Kent Dorfman is his, but yeah,
He's
one
the-
of the
he's the pledge.
Yeah, he's one of the pledges.
Also, if you
he's
haven't
also
seen
in almost all of Babylon 5.
if you haven't seen the movie Dream
Moving on.
Team, yeah, moving on from Babylon 5, Dream Team, an amazing movie. He's in it. Peter Boyle, Christopher Lloyd, Michael Keaton, and it's
I love me some Michael
it's
Keaton.
insane people that go on a field trip and then they get stuck in the city of New York, and it's fantastic. And he plays a guy that can only speak in sports terms.
Future episode.
It might be too good, but let's give it a watch and find out. Sometimes we just got to watch good movies.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Have to. Sorry,
Sometimes
guys.
I watch movies as research for this show, and then I'm like, that was way too good.
Oh yeah. Or that's way too bad.
Yeah,
I don't want.
I didn't watch this ahead of time.
I don't want to subject my friends to this.
Yeah.
So all the leaders of these teams are, well, not the leaders, I guess, but kind of the people who
Yeah,
were introduced
no.
to first are
They
people
are
that we kind of
leaders.
know. Well, no, because what I was going to say is they're all people that we could know from various shows. So like we
Oh.
had Eddi Deezen, we have Stephen Furst, we get David Naughton
Who-
as the leader of the red team or the yellow team,
Yellow Team.
who is an American Werewolf in London, which is a great movie, and we get Dirk Blocker as Balak, who was in
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's
Nine-Nine?
Hitchcock.
Yes,
And
he
that's why I
is.
said not the leaders, because he's not the leader of his team.
Oh, he
but he is
fucking
kind of the one that
is.
we meet at the beginning.
Holy
Yeah, he's
shit.
Yeah.
the one that gets hammered ass drunk.
That's
And you know
dope.
what? Dirk Blocker from then till now, not that different besides hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he's got
And
a
maybe
lot of
tummy.
the same. Well, sure, but
Oh.
not by much.
Same action. Same.
Yeah. It was nice to see him finger quote young.
Yeah.
He's in college.
We later
Sure.
learn that they were all carefully selected, like
Yes,
all
by
of
Leon.
them, like by the game master.
Yes, Leon, played by no one, who was in nothing.
Can I ask you a question? Is Leon the drug dealer for this college?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone kind of listens to
Leon
him.
Leon
If
is the
he's-
cult leader
if
because
he's
these
not-
two
Yeah.
girls,
Candy
Sunshine
and
and
Sunshine.
Candy,
Yeah.
are obsessed with him.
Yes, they
And then, like,
are.
as
He named
everybody
him after dogs.
throughout the movie,
Sunshine.
well, there's a guy named Sunshine Parker. He's the old man that owns it. That's his real name.
yeah.
He's the old man that owns the barn that Dalton rents in Roadhouse.
Oh,
The
okay.
guy's name is Sunshine Parker. And I was like, I could see that grumpy ass old man.
Yeah, he
This
was
is also
once. He was once sunshine.
This is also Michael J. Fox's first feature film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And he does
that was
great for
crazy.
it.
He
I
was
mean,
19.
He's got was he really?
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
They
Dude,
chose him.
I was talking about this movie to people today, and I was like, Yeah, he was like 12, 14.
I would have put 12, 13. I would
I,
put
Dude.
money on it.
I looked
No
it up because
fucking
while
way.
we were watching it, we were talking about it, and he was chosen because they needed someone who looked 15, but the movie was always
kissed like a
almost all
20-year-old.
filming at night. And so there's rules in
Oh,
Hollywood
yeah.
about children working after a certain time.
Yeah, you got a
so
whole
they
bunch
got
of
Michael
leeway
J.
now.
Fox, who looks like a wee bab.
A wee bab.
Dude, he doesn't look like a wee bab. He is a wee bab.
And I
He
thought
totally
she
was.
pointed out his retainer, and I was like, oh, they gave it to him to make him look younger, but it's just for the movie. This
It
is
came in-
Fox's retainer. It
Yeah.
comes back around at the end, even though it's not introduced till like the second act. But
Chekhov's mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not introduced.
No,
in the
it's
first
Gorbachev's
act.
gun, isn't
oh,
it?
it's Gorbachev's. Damn it.
Fun fact:
Ooh, fun
this movie,
facts.
which was inspired by a real life like treasure hunt thing that people did, like a contest in the 70s, in turn inspired this guy named Joe Belfiore to make a game very similar to this that he just called The Game.
Would you
when
like
he
to
went
play
to
a
Stanford,
game?
and then he eventually took it to Microsoft where he's a VP. So it's a thing they
Ooh.
actually do there. And supposedly the game that Microsoft plays was the inspiration for the movie The Game from 1997 with Michael Douglas.
When they hunt people?
Well, they're
That's
trying
what
to,
Microsoft does. Is they hunt people for their game.
a roundabout kind of inspiration, because it starts as Michael Douglas getting pulled into doing this game where he has to
Oh.
find shit. The Michael Douglas one, not the most dangerous
Spoiler
game.
for that movie. It's all just like a big elaborate hoax at the end of it, and like everybody's in on it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's kind of funny that
This
may
drug
have...
dealer Leon would need a lot of money to set up these clues.
Well, definitely. But
Oh.
I also called it. I said that would be my husband's brother if he went to college.
Yeah.
well,
The fro and everything.
at first, I agreed with you, but after seeing how much work he put into this, I'm like, my brother's just like, I was gonna do it, but then I was playing video games and got high.
I
But then I
like
got
the
high.
sound of that.
So you said he needs a lot of money to sell these things up. We already established that he's the campus drug dealer.
Yep.
He's probably not just the campus drug dealer. All these places where he set things up are people he sells drugs
That's
to.
how he's got the hookups. Also, he's
Exactly.
not even living on campus.
He sells Pee Wee Herman his fucking meth or whatever he needs in this movie. And
How
that's,
dare you? It's Coke.
It's
and
Adderall.
that's how he let him in to like fuck with this game
Uh-huh.
that's definitely not Star Wars.
Definitely not Star Wars with the font or the TIE Fighters. It is.
Dude, was it?
1,000%.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, did they just like? Is that the name of that arcade version
There
of
is
Star
no.
Wars?
I literally just played
because it's literally the same font too.
When I was-
yeah.
When I was in Colorado, I went to this arcade and I literally just played a Star Wars game that was basically this game, but it was called like Star Wars something fighter or something. They just changed the title to Starfire because they couldn't, but it's the
Well,
same font. and
Now they
everything.
can, though.
Now
Now
they
they
can
can.
because now they own it.
We own that bitch, fucker.
I'm surprised they didn't go back and fix it.
Yeah.
We'll fix
You
it in
have to
post.
go to the Star Wars video game.
Yay, we just beat Star Wars. We did fix it in post.
It's actually Mickey Mouse doing it. We have to go to the Star Wars. So then we're introduced to Stephen Furst's character, just fattened down because that's what he does through the
God,
whole
this movie
movie.
hates fat people.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
it
all the
does.
80s movies hated fat
Also,
people.
Yeah.
why are they even a couple? And why is Emilio his friend?
Okay, I can answer one. She's rich. Or he's rich. That's why
okay.
she's still there.
That's also why Emilio's his
and that's
friend.
got. But Emilio is such a fucking dick to him this whole
The
movie.
entire-
No,
No,
one
he's-
else
no.
wants to be his
He's
friend.
But-
fucking her.
Okay.
Oh,
Not
you think so?
I think Emilio
Okay.
and
I think he wants
maybe,
to.
Lady are.
maybe, but also, like he never fucks with Harold directly.
Who's Harold, the big guy?
Yeah,
yeah,
Harold
no,
is
he's
the
always
doesn't-
talking
he-
shit to him and stuff.
No,
directly to his face.
Sometimes, but a lot of it is like directed through someone else. Like he's
Usually
like
her.
he's like an instigator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
And then the other guy
but-
whose name I never got, who is just the giant guy that's just like
Barf.
barf.
No,
Yes, that,
I thought
That's what they-
Barf was on the meat machine.
No, that was Barf.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
the meat
Barf
machine has
is-
armpit.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Barf was
I don't
blue
know
team.
anybody's name in this movie because I didn't want to retain it.
So
Yeah.
all the
Barf was Fagabeefy.
not dictators,
actually.
but the debaters. The only one that had a name was Wesley. I don't think we
okay.
ever got his name though.
They did say Wesley.
Okay, but the other ones are
Actually, he
Debater
says
1,
Wesley.
He says
Debater
Wesley.
2, and Debater 3.
At the end, when the girl on the back of his moped, he's like,
Yeah.
"You ever want to ride again? Just call Wesley."
This is like
I
wild.
do like
gave
anytime
himself
he
a
gets
nickname,
big
didn't
and
he?
tries to like chest pump, like puff his chest out against the jocks. Like you are 80 pounds soaking wet.
with the duck face.
Yeah. Oh, he can't get rid of that duck face. Active
Here's another
duck
fun
face.
fact. Here's the person. So the leader of the red team, the all-girl team. I don't know her name. I don't know the actress name. Well, I do know the actress name. I don't know the
Cindy-
girl's name in the movie. The actress's name is Maggie Roswell.
Yeah, her name was Donna.
She voices Maude Flanders
Oh yeah.
and a bunch of characters, obviously. 'Cause The
Okay.
Simpsons
So
is-
there is somebody in here that voices Reverend Lovejoy's wife as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it might be the girl that's in love with the yellow team guy. I think it's the girl in the yellow team. But
Debra Clinger.
Debra
Deborah
Clinger.
Clinger,
Dude,
I think
she's
it's her.
fucking hot, dude.
I'll tell you, there's one
She's
voice
so
that
hot.
really matters in this for me, and it's on the blue team. The girl that is with the heavyset
blonde.
guy.
Yeah.
She voices
blonde.
Jem from Jem and the Holograms.
Oh, shut
That's
up.
all I need
A
to
lot
know.
of voice actors in this, because also one of the neighbors, Wally, the first neighbor who comes in and hangs out with Leon, like the old man with his mom and
Oh,
his
yeah.
wife or whatever, he voiced Piglet.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, now we'll get to this. The lady that wanted to kick him out, the landlord, she voiced Aunt May on the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s, not the 70s.
Nice.
So we've got a lot of voice actors
You
here.
might have a connection to
Dude, that
somebody in
landlord
here.
was a bitch.
On the red team, or what team? Yeah, the red
Oh,
team.
you talking about the little redheaded girl named Petty?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm adopted though. Not really. I just look like it. Guy that plays Melio.
Emilio.
Yeah.
He has like 4 acting roles, but 33 directing roles. He's got a bunch of movies, not that you'll like. Things like Fools Rush In with Matthew Perry,
Ooh.
Bounty Hunter with Gerard Butler, and he
Gerard.
directed 2 episodes of the Cowboy Show with Bruce Campbell.
Oh, shit. Briscoe County Jr.
Briscoe County
Adventures of Briscoe
Jr.
County Jr.
2 episodes of Briscoe
have it
County
on DVD.
Jr. That's why I got excited when I was like, did you look up his directing
I
credit?
didn't. There were so many fucking people in this movie.
And not one of them that I could find was in Beauty and the Beast.
Damn it. We're friends?
No, not Friends either. No.
So they're all taken to Leon's drug pad,
Call it what it is. It's a trap house. Call it what it is.
Trap house.
and
house.
he's introduced. They have this slideshow that introduces the Great All Nighter, which just sounds like a gangbang.
It is. In another movie, it is.
There's
It
another
kinda
movie
is.
called I don't even know, Midnight.
Fatness.
Midnight Shagness.
Midnight Shagness. What else we got? Mid thigh.
Mid thigh slapness.
Mid thigh wetness.
I don't know.
Yeah, there is another movie here that did not get made.
Yeah. So they're all invited to do this game, and basically they're like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself, Leon," and they leave.
And
And
Candy
this is when
and
we see-
Sunshine are like, oh.
These girls are all over this dude, and that's what like
He's
at
got
first
a fat dick.
when
He's
everybody
gotta
was
have a
walking
fat
in, Whitney
dick.
was like, "That girl drank the Kool-Aid. Like she
Immediately.
looks like
The blonde.
Blondie.
brainwashed
Yeah.
cult person." But then when they
Oh,
leave, and
especially
they're
when
just
they
like,
walk in and she's just on the fucking banister, just like, oh, like she's
like,
like,
My love.
yeah,
Because he's dosing her.
Maybe.
Yeah, she's got to be
LSD
high on
every
something.
day.
He's just got shit in the vents because it's when all these
It's
people come
opium.
into his house, they fall in love with him.
That's true.
All the neighbors,
Except
the
for
cop.
the old lady
Yeah.
who has a deviated septum, so she can't breathe it in.
Yep.
Exactly.
She's immune to his finger quote charms. Charms is just like a light version of Rohypnol.
She's immune to Rohypnol.
Lucky.
So the reason they all got chosen, as Ben said, they're all chosen for a reason because every single one of them pisses off someone else at some point. So then
Yeah.
they're like, "Well, we'll do this to get back at those guys." And Eddi Deezer pisses off the jocks because he's basically saying that they shouldn't have football.
They had that, yeah. They had that scene,
Yeah.
debate scene.
The debate
Yeah.
scene.
The jocks
then-
have a fire hose of a keg.
yeah,
Like everybody here's worked around kegs, and I don't know. I know you've seen some pop.
Yeah.
They don't spray like this for that long.
No.
Like this was, I need this keg.
Yeah.
they just had a broken pump handle
It's a
thing.
magic keg.
They just put the pump handle on top of it and took the hose off, and then just I don't know. That's the only way you could do it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I like it.
But he
It's-
pisses off the
it kept
jocks.
going.
The jocks piss off the sorority girls. which is Maud Flanders' team. And oh god, and those twins, these two like fat twins.
The dolphin twins.
Yes, that just laugh like fucking dolphins.
Can I tell you something that cracked me up about their IMDb? One of them's unpictured.
Right?
And I'm like, you know you're twins, right? Let me just see if I can figure out what you look like.
Let me go ahead and I'm going to take this picture and submit it as the picture for the other girl.
Yeah.
We don't know what she looks like, but Composite Sketches think she looks like this. Just move the picture up.
She could have had plastic surgery, lost weight. I don't know.
Don't you dare make excuses.
So why does Adam or David Naughton's character, why does he get, because Debra Clinger is like, you should do it because I said so, kind of.
You need to follow the advice you're giving other people.
Yeah, he's like a counselor.
Which he does
She
need
like
to.
must work with him.
Yeah, he's like a counselor for freshmen, but he's basically counseling this nerdy kid on how to get laid.
And he's hot to trot for homegirl, but
Yeah,
he won't do anything about it, even though he's telling this other guy, like, gotta have confidence.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to her, he's like, ugh,
And
I
then
pooped a little.
the big fat asshole, Stephen Furst, Harold. And I call him a big fat asshole because he's a big fat asshole.
He is a big
a
fat
jerk.
asshole this whole time to everybody in his life.
We
Everybody.
come back to his house here. His dad's rich. They're in this big fancy house.
Did
He's
you
just,
see all the fucking trophies in his fucking room?
Oh, and
That
his
had to be
dad's
from his brother.
office. Well, it was his dad's office. So I
But
think
he
it
even says, like, quit comparing me to insert fucking name
he's
here.
talking
No.
about
he's
Adam.
talking about Adam. That's
Yeah.
David Naughton's character.
Oh.
So they're like neighbors, or they grew up together or something.
like-
because the
Yeah.
dad is like
So-
it's that stereotypical.
So the dad keeps the neighbor's kids' trophies in his
Well, I think
room?
they're the
It's
dad's
weird.
I think they're
trophies
the-
or something. And then he's like, "Look, I'm successful. Why are you such a piece of shit?"
No,
Yeah.
he's like, how come, like, you should do this game because, like, his son is doing the game and, like,
You gotta be
he's
better.
doing way better.
And then
Classic neighbor competition.
Yeah, so it was just like, my friend's son.
he fucking throws M&Ms all over the floor, and then calls in the maid, and he's like,
Does the stupidest thing I hate.
"Accidento, el meso, clean up-o."
up-o.
Fuck you.
You've probably had this maid your entire life. You know that is not Spanish.
Yeah.
And my favorite
Accidento,
thing,
clean up-o.
he
You know
just-
what, though? Go fuck-o, you-o.
Well, I mean, like, they with that attitude, I bet there's a high turnover rate for those maids.
No, they make sure they hire people that can't leave you're forced into this.
Yeah, they
can't leave.
kidnapped
If
you.
They
quit-
buy slaves.
Well, if you quit, they're just gonna call ICE.
Yep.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Or murder you.
Or both.
This kid though, Harold, he
On
just keeps
ice.
being like, "But dad," like 8 times in this, and then they do this thing, like you said, this movie hates fat people, right? Where he's like, "Dad, look at me for who I am."
He does the frump face.
Yeah, and the dad like looks his son from from foot to head,
You get
and then
fat
just
guy-
goes, "Ugh."
And while he's looking him up and down, you get fat guy horns like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, and the dad looks at his kid in the face and says, "Ugh,
Ugh.
You were gross.
you're a fucking mess."
You're yucky.
So they go through this whole thing where they're now gathering their team members and they're gathering vehicles and whatever. And I guess what vehicle you chose determined the color of your team because they all end up.
It's
with the
really
right
lucky
color.
that they had a green Volkswagen, a yellow Jeep. Actually, it's not a Jeep; they call it that.
Yeah,
the
it's
Toyota
a
Land Cruiser.
It's a Land Cruiser.
But yeah, everybody's
What
got
about that
there's the
Datsun?
blue. Oh, the red Datsun.
The red
truck.
Datsun.
That truck is gorgeous. I want this van.
I
Oh,
want
yes!
all of these vehicles, even those stupid mopeds.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, the
they're all
mopeds. The,
pretty
the
sweet.
mopeds are actually probably the smartest ones.
And they're all white.
Yep.
All
yeah.
white.
Yeah, because they had the white guy power.
Dude, those
Yeah, that's
those
true.
guys on those mopeds with their helmets and their white shirts, I was like, these dudes are looking for a bit of the old ultra violence.
Yeah, the old
In,
in,
out,
out,
in,
in,
out.
out. They were heading to the milk bar.
Yeah, there's some Clockwork Orange on the move.
Yeah.
We're looking for the Clockwork Orgy.
You mentioned the sweet van, so it's got
God,
like
as soon as I saw that
I'm a van
thing,
enthusiast. And this is, at the time, 1980, this is state-of-the-art vanning.
yeah, that was 18
A
van.
telephone
yeah.
in the van. Screens
computer.
on
The
the van.
bubble on the
The-
top.
oh, I want that
The
bubble.
viewing port.
I want that
Yes.
viewport.
it just needs a machine gun attached to it.
I don't think these people need that, but yeah, I'm with you.
That's the 18
The
part.
last thing we need, this guy's going to fucking fit his machine gun to shoot like ho-hos
It
instead.
had a computer.
So who told him to go on the diet? His dad or his
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 girlfriend.
girlfriend?
His girlfriend.
Okay. Which, hey, I'm just going to say it right here. She's actually kind of looking out for you because not that he looks huge and obese. The way he's eating, he is just getting hamburgers
Dying.
by the handful and just
shoveling shit in his mouth.
Yeah,
he was
we
literally
saw him
like-
with the Skittles or M&Ms, whatever they were.
When she's
Yeah,
trying,
he
when
had
he's
a
trying
The
to,
French fries.
you got diabetes.
He had handfuls.
when he's trying to hide the snacks in his van, and
Oh,
so he's
God.
like stuffing the marshmallows like up above the fucking
The
visors.
visors.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, you are hiding snacks the wrong way.
Yeah.
Marshmallows, you don't hide marshmallows. You find something else.
Yeah,
Get you some heart candies.
California isn't like really. It's not Arizona, but it's not cool.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is hot.
It was 71 degrees.
How would you know that?
On the bank sign.
Oh, fair.
Yeah,
All
when
right,
they were
smarty
looking
pants.
through the telescope.
Yeah, well, when the windows are closed, it's 90 degrees in the van.
So let's get to
They
that.
had AC.
Let's get to that telescope.
Okay, well, so
Oh, yeah.
real quick, the last thing when they get this kid Flinch to join the team, which is the one that David Naughton was counseling, it's because he's like, "Oh, I finally got a date."
So mean.
Yeah, and they're like,
Oh my
"Okay,"
God, this
and
part
they
was the saddest.
they go out the door, and there's this nerdy looking girl standing there. She's in like a nice little like dress with like
Looks kind of
flowers and
homemade,
shit.
but it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And they walk out
Headgear.
and they see this girl and she's
Super
got
headgear.
braces. Yeah, she's got headgear. She's got zits and glasses. So they slam the door in her face and they're like, "We're doing you a favor. You're coming with us." And they drag him out.
Yeah.
Fuck David Naughton.
Absolutely, man. This chick deserves to have at least a chance at love.
So
Yeah.
Disney hates fat people and ugly people
And-
Well, we know this.
And nerds.
Old people.
and old people.
This movie does not like old people, and
No.
neither do I.
Fuck
You're
David.
almost
that
old.
Uggo.
Or that
Fuck old
oldo, or
people.
that fatto.
Everybody's got to be perfect.
Perfect.
Just like Jim Iger.
Bob Iger.
Bob Iger.
Bob Iger.
Just like Bob Iger.
Fuck Bob Iger.
Cock
Who's Bob
smoke.
Iger?
He's the head of Disney right now,
Oh.
and he recently
He
was
was
saying,
the head of Disney, and then he left, and then they brought him back, and he's the one that's fucking everything up.
Yeah, he's recently been the one saying like everything that the protests for more money. He's like they're out of touch. It's like no, I kind of think that you're out of touch,
You're out of
man.
touch. Dude, my favorite thing, I saw this sign. There's pictures of like all these signs for the WGA like animators part.
Yeah.
They were making picket signs. So of course they're all people who can draw, right? So they're like drawing all these pictures, and someone had a picture of Scrooge McDuck diving into the coins, and it's like it says something about like, you guys don't need more money, like you're just fine, and it's just Scrooge McDuck diving into coins.
Is exactly what is happening.
So we get to the first clue, which is something like the stars are, or the sea is reversed. I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's a
Yeah.
little word thing.
SSI
Atari.
Tari.
Everybody has a different way of solving it, and everybody gets there.
I don't know how the
Well,
jocks
but
got
also
there.
like
I don't
some people,
either.
some people cheat too.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Everyone's a different way of solving
and
it.
all of the clues.
Team
some
Blue
people
just
cheat.
types into a computer and it solves it in seconds. The Team Yellow is actually kind of dumb because they say like, oh, you got to go where you can see the stars, and they go to the Hollywood like map of the stars.
Yeah, the map of the stars.
And as
then
they're
the jocks go to the wax museum.
But and as they're
'Cause that's where
sitting
the
there,
stars are.
the black dude that's on his own Land Cruiser, he's like, "Well, at least it's nice out. You can see the stars." David's like, "What?" Or whatever. The yellow team's like, "What did you say?" He's like, "At least you can see the star." Oh,
Yeah, it's a very
like it's
house
some-
moment.
Like why? Why
Let me
wouldn't
spoon
you?
feed you this a little more.
But why wouldn't you just automatically assume they're talking about the celestial body stars?
mean, that's what I
Everybody
thought.
assumes they're talking about
Something-
famous people, except for the girls who are like, "Oh, the Starlight Disco."
Uh-huh.
So they're all like running around all these stupid places trying to figure out what these numbers mean that are attached to the clue.
So, but here's where we get to the part that I think is the biggest removal of boob comedy, is they have this little shit kid looking through the telescope,
Little
Oh,
shit
God.
kid.
Dude,
trying
this
to look
kid's
at
the shit
Venus.
birdiest.
He's the
He is
king
a shit
shitbird.
bird.
And so he's trying to let the dad's like, "Hey, let my kid look through the telescope
It's
at
for
Venus."
his term paper.
And then finally someone goes, "Isn't Venus that way?" And the kid's like, "All right, we got to go." He's like, "What were you looking at?" He's like, "No, let's just leave." And then when he puts his eye on, he's all ho 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 ho. So there's something in this
Oh,
telescope.
you didn't see? They show
you
the
didn't
kid
see it?
looking at it.
It was a woman
He's
getting
looking at a
undressed.
woman getting undressed.
Not on my turn. Not on my rental.
Did you rent it from Amazon?
Yeah,
Then you blinked.
I was
the
really
fuck?
watching.
No, like, dude,
Yeah,
there was
and
'cause he
she
looks-
takes her shirt off.
there's a-
and
yeah,
she's
there's
in a
a
white
chick-
bra.
But she's in a
No!
in the
Yeah.
telescope. There's a lady
Do we
undressing.
need
And
to go to that point?
Oh, I
for
was.
you?
This makes it a little bit better. I was so mad. I was like, we don't know what the fuck he's looking at.
But they never show it again. They show it the one time for
because
a
then the
quick
jocks come in to look at
Yeah.
it, and
and
they're
Leviathan
supposedly
or whatever his fucking name is.
Leviathan. I think
It's,
that's
it's something like that. It's Lavalus.
it's
or-
Leviticus.
Leviticus.
But I do love. So this
How did
one,
I miss not boobs?
I don't know, man.
This is when the landlady comes in to Leon's place and unplugs all his computers, which first of all, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Especially 1980.
if you get one more complaint, I'm evicting you from here.
She
and
has
she,
the
she tells
papers?
him, and she's not wrong. She's like, you need to watch your step, you pervert.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
like,
welcome.
Huh.
He does.
Yeah, I
well,
didn't
the
see
ladies
that.
were there.
Exactly. He's living in
Game
sin.
control was there.
He's living in
There are
sin
a
with
couple
two
bad
beautiful
bitches.
women. He's a perv, according to her and most people.
Well,
And
if they
probably
like
sells
him that
drugs.
much, he's got to be right. If they like him that much,
So they figure out, somebody ends up figuring out, oh, it's the blue team because they've got the van. And eventually everybody figures out, you got to go to the Griffith Park Observatory, which is a famous
the
observatory in
computer
Los
actually
Angeles.
told them to go to Griffith.
Yeah. 'Cause
That's
it's
great.
it's the only place you could go that has a telescope.
It was
apparently.
a computer made to solve clues.
Yes.
State
Why
of
not?
the art.
It had the
State-
solve button.
Yeah. He
was
hit
made-
the solve button.
Isn't that crazy?
It was made
all you
by
need.
top men.
Well, what about the
the
top
toppest men.
men?
But they go to the Griffith Park Observatory, which has been in a bunch of shit. Really well known for Rebel Without a Cause.
I was like, James Dean, baby.
And they have to look through the telescope, and they find the clue, which is on a bank sign, where he like hacked into the bank sign and changed it.
He sold drugs to the manager. Manager's like, look, I got a 4-hour window, buddy.
It tells
one's
them.
gonna remember
I just want to know the people driving down the road. That's like, for the next clue, go to the 8800 keys.
Harold, what do you think the clue is? Harold, are we missing something?
Harold.
And by the way, everybody.
Shut up, mother.
All these fucking people are perverts, because when David Naughton sees the clue, and then he tells Flinch or whatever his name is, hey, I'm gonna have to bring you back here sometime. So like, we're gonna come back and use this telescope to peep on this lady.
Yeah.
And then the jocks show up, and they're all just like,
And
then
he puts it back to
He
distract
sets
them.
it back. He like memorized where.
I think he just did the
lady
recall
was.
button.
Well, it's a solve button on the computer. Why wouldn't there be a naked lady button on the telescope? Duh.
Dude, honestly, they should always be looking for those.
I agree.
so they go. Always have a naked lady button ready.
Yeah.
They go to the L.A. Piano Museum, which
Uh-huh.
sounds boring as fuck. Oh, by the way, all of these places are opened very late.
And with
Well,
little to no
not-
supervision.
Not opened very late, but they have access to it.
No, they
very
literally,
late.
these people pay to get into the piano museum. They go and they play miniature golf at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
They take a brewery tour at 2:00 in the morning or whatever. Like, it's fucking way too late for any of these things.
All
to
of
be
this is
happening.
happening.
Hollywood,
at-
baby.
It's all starting.
I was just
No,
in
it
LA.
started
Ain't
when-
shit open after 9 p.m., man.
It started when the sunset happened.
But they literally say, okay, so when they're looking through the telescope, it's like 11 something, because that's what the sign
clock
says.
said.
And then later on, when they're going to LAX, later on, they say like, oh, maybe 5:30 a.m. is the time of a flight, and they're like, no, it's only 2:30 in the morning right now.
Yeah.
So like, they just left miniature golf at 2:30 a.m. and that place is packed with children.
Chitlins.
with
Send-
children.
Put your
Oh,
kids to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to
We'll
that.
get there. So as they go into the museum, Harold is trying to stuff all these marshmallows in his face, and we all saw where this was going, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
The girlfriend she's like, "What are you doing in there, Harold?" So he shoves the marshmallows inside the computer
God.
because
It
he's
Damn
Well,
it,
there's
you're
not a
dumb.
better spot in this
Which
van.
it doesn't get very hot in computers.
No.
Historically, it's never gotten
Everybody
very hot
knows
for
that
them.
computers don't require fans or cooling.
Especially 1980s.
Yeah.
Computers were better back then. That's how we got to the moon. Now we haven't been back.
Computers have never been the same. Every computer's getting soft.
Back in my day, computers used to get lung cancer. We don't know why. It's kind of inconvenient, really.
It just sucks for them.
My computers kept dying.
They get that black lung from no fan.
Get that black hard drive. I think I got the black lung, pops.
It got some fan crust.
It happens.
It's more like a
It was Zoolander.
beep cough. I can't beep and cough at the same time.
Kill me, please.
Hold
Tell
on.
me.
I'll do the beep and you do the cough.
What are you trying?
We're all trying,
I'm trying to cough
too
and
hard.
beep at the same time.
That's a noise.
Okay, that's gonna be.
Hands up, he's
we
mine.
start the episode with that, and then
Oh shit.
and then everything else is downhill.
So they pick up Michael J. Fox at a bus stop,
Yeah.
as you do.
a 19-year-old Michael
He-
J.
Dave, is it Dave? Adam
Adam.
notices that that looks like my brother. That's my brother, and then he's like, "What the fuck and then so they pull off and they grab him.
He's running away from home, right?
Yeah,
Is that
because they just
He's
conveniently
about
mentioned
to get on a bus to somewhere.
San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah.
And they literally mentioned, like, he's like, oh, if mom and dad weren't still out of town, I'd take you home right away. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Just-
what? Drop off an empty house? You don't understand.
Latchkey kids, babe.
He's gonna just run away again, though, you idiot.
And don't do that again, he says, pointing his finger, and then he just escapes
Hard
immediately.
finger wag.
We're and back at the piano museum. We get a fun little musical interlude with the blue team.
Bing, bing,
The big
bing.
dumb guy Barf is playing the dun, dun,
Heart and
Chopsticks.
Souls. No, it's Heart and Souls.
Oh yeah, Chopsticks is bump.
Dun,
bump,
dun,
bump.
dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
It was like
dun,
the
dun,
were they both in Big?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it starts with Heart and Souls.
Yeah.
And then
Which we're gonna
Robert
do that movie,
Loggia
right?
looks at him and he goes, chopsticks. Dude, if Robert Loggia ever looks you in the face and demands anything, you got to do it.
Oh yeah, you just do it.
Yeah.
I'm Robert Loggia.
I'm
I'm
Robert
gonna
Loggia.
Play fucking chopsticks.
The only time I ask for chopsticks is musically. I use forks exclusively.
Even for
I
ice cream.
went to a Chinese restaurant and they handed me chopsticks and I said, chopsticks? I'm Robert Loggia. That's how he ends every
Yeah.
sentence.
Oh, so he starts him too. I'm Robert Loggia. Hello, I've been Robert Loggia.
The whole time.
But yeah, so they're playing music, and Harold is about to hit his friend with this very expensive-looking piano bench after smashing a very expensive-looking sculpture.
Which is
For
probably
no
gonna
reason.
kill him, by the way.
For no reason.
Because
Yeah.
he's hangry.
He's looking for the clues.
well, he can't find the clue. He's pissed. His friends are having a good time, and he doesn't like that.
No.
And then the girl turns around and sees the clue that's been right out in the open the whole time,
Right there.
on a very itty-bitty
On a
tiny
stand.
piano.
On a stand. On a piano.
This is Leon's theme, and it's got music. And so they like write down the notes, and they're like, "Oh, it must be something we have to unscramble." And they
Why
leave.
these two
play the
fucking jock idiots? They were just playing piano quite well.
Yeah.
Why
Wouldn't
wouldn't
your
you try and play that?
Your
But,
first
okay.
reaction should be like, "Ding, ding,
Just-
ding, ding."
just-
Nobody has a good first reaction.
No, but like just because you can play a song on a piano does not know you understand that
It
letters
does not know you
are
understand?
letters denominate notes.
I know what you're saying, but this dude, the second dude, Melio,
He played like 5 instruments.
thank you. He walked over to 5 different types of
Yeah.
keys and was like, "Watch
They're
this."
all the same keys.
Yep, but he did it
They're
flawlessly.
all the same keys.
One of these things was a harpsichord.
Yes, it was.
They're all the same keys.
It's still. Why would your first reaction be? I bet these notes are scrambled up to say something.
Because the other one was scrambled up.
Because it's enough
you think,
letters.
You think Leon's a one-trick
no,
pony?
because it's enough letters to make a
I mean,
word.
some of them were. It
Leon
made his
is-
favorite word,
Leon-
vagabeefa.
Fagabeefy. It's fagabeefy.
So we keep saying that. It's literally FAGABEEFE.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of E's.
and the dude, the big dumb guy Barf, he figures it out, and he's like, "Maybe it's Fagabeefy."
Because he keeps...
And he's just
He
giggling
figures it
about
out.
saying Fagabeefy.
dude,
And I mean, normally we
that
don't
was
say the F word on here, but
Oh
it's not
my
really
God.
that. It's decoded
it's,
letters.
it's yeah.
And he's not calling anyone...
no, I
It's
think that is
just-
why he starts giggling.
Yeah.
But it is also very fun to say out loud. I suggest listeners at home to give it a shot. Just say it out loud.
Or
If
in
you-
your car,
Say it without smiling. Good
roll
luck.
down your window and yell fagabeefy at the person next to you.
I just can't wait for Trump to run again so we can start saying MAGA beefy.
Ooh,
Oh my god. It's just it's
it's too
such
soon.
I'm making that
like
sandwich.
I've also since I watched this movie as a
Extra
child,
mayo.
that was also adopted into like household language. So like if someone was being, and this was at a time, this was 10 years ago, people were still saying gay, like they couldn't get married yet, so we were still saying gay like derogatory.
That's why we said it, because they couldn't get married.
That, I mean, that
somebody's
was like
face.
the biggest. I mean, surely that was the biggest reason why it was socially acceptable.
It was never socially
like,
acceptable, and don't call me
but
Shirley.
calling people,
Nice.
fagabeefy in my house was hilarious.
Yeah.
for like at least 3 years. After
My
seeing
sister and
this
I used to
movie.
chase each other with knives and whisks.
okay.
And say,
Okay,
I'll
Whitney.
beat you to death. But
Yeah, I mean,
you
that's-
got fagabeefy.
I'll
Dude,
beat
we-
you to death? Like,
we
like,
just
like you
watched-
would beat an egg?
Yes.
Yeah, we
She
All
pulls a
right.
whisk
We
out and she's
watched
like, "I'll beat you."
films instead.
Welcome to therapy with Ben and Whitney.
Welcome to bad therapy and worse people.
I was raised in the 80s. He was raised in the 90s. Like
I was not. No.
He was raised in the 2000s.
the 2000s.
I was raised in the 2000s.
That's right. I
man.
am double your age.
He's just a wee bab.
He's a bab.
I'm a little baby
He was
boy.
born after you graduated.
He's
high
like
school.
he's like
No,
the
he was
opposite.
98.
I graduated in 2000.
Okay.
He's like the opposite of Michael J. Fox. When Ben was 19, he looked 40.
This is true.
He was born with that beard.
Yeah, he
That's
was.
what
I
a
wish I
glorious
was.
beard it is.
It's getting
Poor
better.
mother's
Remember-
birth canal.
Remember when you refused to grow a mustache and you only did the little
I
bottom
thought
goat?
it. Well, it's the same mustache. That's the worst part. He's like, I could have because like I didn't do
I
it.
didn't get a
I didn't
new
do it the whole
mustache.
time.
Dude, you could have a better scavenger hunt in Ben's beard than this fucking movie.
I allow it.
Sorry,
I'll allow
let's
it.
get back.
The green team, the idiot jocks, are the ones who decide to use the piano
play-
first.
yeah.
The meat machine.
Meat
Yes,
machine.
driving the meat wagon.
Are we surprised that they knew how to spell it?
MEATMACHINE.
Meat machine. Meat machine. I am surprised they knew how to spell it, but it's like one of those things. It's all they know how to spell.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And
You
can-
only have to learn.
Before-
it.
Lazarus
we get
doesn't
to
know how
that-
to spell his own name.
Let's address the
have
fact that
a
we have the
question about
5 beefiest, biggest guys in this movie in a Volkswagen.
Yes.
A Volkswagen Beetle.
It's
Do
a clown
you-
car.
Awesome.
Sweat City.
In the meat wagon.
In the meat
It
wagon.
smells like wheat. It smells like meat in there.
But my question is, do you think they only know how to spell it because the cheerleaders made that a cheer for them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They don't actually know how to spell
Oh.
it. They're just repeating the cheer. They
Yeah.
don't realize that spells meat
It's
machine.
burned
They're
into
really
their
hoping
brain.
it spells it.
It's
Yeah.
in their psyche that
Yeah.
cheer, and so they can recall it at any moment.
I just thought of that right now.
It's like how I don't know how to read. I just memorize certain letters.
I mean, that's
I don't know what the words look like. I just know what all the letters look like
General
together.
idea.
that's how you speed read. Is you look at the first and the almost last letter. That's how you
It's
know.
not
what
how
word
I
it-
speed read. I get a bunch of meth and then go to the library.
So the computer goes on the fritz because the marshmallows melt. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, weird.
And when he turns around to get mad at his friend for some reason, even though it's his fault, his friend is eating all the Oreos. So
And
he's
he
just got
does
like
a
black
smile.
teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, and you've got their team has one Mexican dude who is in
Blade.
He's in almost nothing, but he has his switchblade.
Yeah.
And he's like shaving off the cream off these Oreos.
It's for that joke. It's for deflating the
airport?
tires. It's for not being able to go into the airport.
Yeah.
And it's for later in the movie he's brandishing it at somebody.
But
that's it.
He's probably got the most amount of roles out of everybody in this movie. And the biggest thing he has is he's on like 3 episodes of Melrose Place.
Oh,
So
we're gonna
he's
see
in
him
like
soon.
an episode. It's like Father something. Like it literally said Father and then an M name like Mercutio or something. I don't
Okay.
remember.
I don't think I've seen a priest yet. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen him yet.
was
So
he at
keep
the
your eye
wedding?
out for a priest that carries a switchblade. That's you know what? That's good advice for everyone. Keep your eyes out for a priest that carries
Write
a
that down.
switchblade. That might be the church you want to go to. Honestly,
I did love though when they go to when they go to LAX and they're all going in and he's like, "Come on, Blades!" And he's just standing at the edge of the
He's
metal
no.
detector, just shaking his head slowly.
No.
That was one of
It's
my legitimate
labeled,
laughs.
It's labeled metal detector.
Wait, what about
I've
okay,
never
so the
seen them
back to the
labeled
priest with
metal
a switchblade.
detector.
If he marries you, I now pronounce you husband and knife, and he stabs you.
Ooh,
You
better
don't want to
movie
go to
than
this
one.
church.
Hey,
movie than
no,
this.
either he runs a tight ship or he doesn't.
How do we?
Okay.
That's everybody's.
You know?
That's
No,
everybody.
either
in
like
life.
either everyone's in line or everyone's dead and he doesn't have a church.
Well, they're in line if they're dead.
That's all I'm saying. It's
they
like,
ain't disobeying him now.
Maybe it wouldn't be a priest; it'd be a
Are you
rabbi because he uses that switchblade
Yeah.
for brisses.
No, a moil does that. Rabbis don't do that. You need a very specific moil.
Oh,
Fuck is a moil?
It
They're
sounds like
the
a
ones
sauce.
that cut the a moil. They circumcise.
I feel like they would have a better
Dude,
name than
Well,
what do you mean? These,
So does
these
the-
Jews have been doing it for thousands of
The
years.
They
skin
have
that you
been.
cut off is called schmegma, I believe. No, it's
Smegma?
schmuck.
Is
schmuck.
Because schmegma
Yeah.
comes out of a lady.
No,
No,
schmuck. Schmuck is the left.
smegma
is the cut
in general
penis.
is just like cheese down there.
Ooh.
No, it's a very specific thing. But
I
we're
don't-
not here to talk about schmegma.
Yeah, and I don't like the confidence that he just came at me
It's just
with
cheese.
undercarriage cheese.
It's a very delicious
Cheese.
cheese.
It's
It goes,
Fromunda.
it goes really good with water crackers.
It's Fromunda, bro.
God, water crackers is what I call people from Florida.
So speaking of Fromunda cheese, they figure out they have to go to the Pabst Blue Ribbon Brewery.
Oh yeah.
How do they figure it out? Dirk Blocker knows the song.
Yes,
Like,
I
instantly he's
know
like,
that
"Wait,
song anywhere."
I know that," and he
Yeah.
sings it.
Which I couldn't tell you right now, but it's like It's Pabst Blue Ribbon. Something,
You're
something
already
good.
drunk, so have a beer that's cold. I want this bartender's job at Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
Because all he's doing is pouring beers and smoking cigarettes. Like, this is fucking
Not even-
great.
he's just pouring Pabst Blue Ribbon.
A beer. Sorry, he's pouring.
You don't
pouring,
even have to
How
talk
many
to
taps
people.
does he fucking
He had
need,
like
though?
8.
Well, what if one taps
so
out?
then he doesn't have to go back and
Exactly.
retap the keg.
This is a one bartender situation.
It should
here.
be hooked directly to that fucking tank.
It should be, but then that's how you get people.
Then
in
you
your
get
tap.
blocker juice.
Also,
You
this
get
tank-
dirt
Then you
juice.
get dick blocker
Would
juice.
not be open.
Yeah,
There's so many
there's
things
a
wrong
lot
with
of
this
problems
brewery.
with that. So they're
Yeah.
at the brewery, and when the jocks are taking the tour, and they see the big open vat, and the guy is like, "This is when the beer is at its freshest and most delicious." And so Dirk Blocker jumps in. That's not how brewing tanks work, unless you're making a sour. If this is
Yeah.
a cool ship and you're trying to make a sour,
Yeah.
but
Then you have
that's me
open
nerding out
fermentation.
over here. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Oh, you're getting all kinds of little microbes in there, buddy.
And then now they're making a fucking sour.
Yeah.
And then when they open it to get him out of the tank, and it's just like a bucket full of beer comes out, and then Dirk Blocker comes out. I'm like, that tank had hundreds of gallons of
Yeah.
beer.
Are they posing that he drank it all?
No, because they were just looking for
Yeah, they were
him.
just looking through the top, and it was full. So like, I don't know, but
So the clue is
why
on
am
the,
I thinking so much
the
about
PBR
it?
on
PBR
these
has one
boxes.
vat to waste.
Oh, because Michael J. Fox gets kicked out. Hey man, give me a beer. Let me just. It's for
It's
not
for-
for me. It's for my
Oh,
brother,
yeah,
man.
they were looking for the clue in there.
Yeah.
They got booted.
And he gets this,
They got kicked out into the warehouse? Question mark.
which
I think it's just the alley.
Oh, but no,
Why
no,
is
no.
this beer
They
in the
must have been
alley?
in
I
on
laughed
it.
because now you kicked me out of your brewery, right? And now I'm surrounded with nobody watching me, surrounded by cases of beer. You fucked up. You're
Thousands
about
of
to
cases
you're about to
of
find a
beer.
naked ginger on your loading docks here in the next 3 hours, sir.
And this is another example of Leon using his drug pull, because
Yeah.
these loading dock guys are like, oh, they're here? Okay, start stacking the cases.
How
that
are they
give the
supposed to
clue.
find this organically?
Exactly.
Like you have to get kicked out. You
The
need some little
sweaters.
shitbird that's
The
19 years
sweaters.
old. The what?
The sweaters.
What sweater?
They're all wearing the sweaters.
I don't
So
know
you're
what
saying-
sweater you're talking
The
about.
team
No, they're
sweaters. So
all
you're
wearing
saying
the
is
No,
colors.
I understand, but he's saying how were the people in the teams supposed to find this unless
Yeah.
they went into this warehouse area?
Because if
You wouldn't go into the warehouse.
because if you're okay,
It's
all
not
of,
part of the tour.
Look, they brought the jocks in. Everywhere else, they destroyed the fucking piano place.
right, but
Like
you're not
all of this is like
you're not addressing-
implying that they're going to destroy whatever the fuck is around them.
I guess that's
So-
fair. All right.
You think Leon?
Like
you
when
think
they
Leon
come in
thought
all
that?
color coordinated, they're gonna throw them into the warehouse because that's the next part of the
Oh,
thing. Like
okay,
Leon
I
has
see.
already spoken to these
I
guys.
see what he's saying. He's saying because these people are all wearing colored sweaters.
Like that's why they
that
have to wear
see
them.
that, and they're like, you know what? This is where you.
They're
need
like,
to get
oh,
the
you're
fuck out of my
causing
place."
you're causing a
Discrimination,
ruckus
man.
and you're wearing all the same things. You're going in the warehouse.
The PBR brewery is a lot like a nightclub. See, you can't wear colors when you go in. You get kicked right the fuck out.
You can't all be wearing the same color.
That's what I mean. That's what they call it.
What is
Colors.
it? All ages. Just
They're
a
against
fucking
all
venue in
bandanas
Tucson?
as well, even in your back pocket.
It's they basically just went into the Cactus Moon, and then they were like, no, you have to leave. And
Get
they
out. Go the back way though.
Go out the back. We have the keg stacked to have a clue
You get
on.
the fuck out of here and you go stand where we put our beer bottles. All right, sir.
You're gonna get so cold.
You go get in the store.
But read the message that's
So
there
anyway,
for
back
you.
to the Captain Planet teams all trying to have a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Because
So the
once they all
clue-
come together, we're gonna make one really badass team, right? Right.
Right.
Sure. One badass hurricane just destroys this hotel.
That's Captain Planet.
So the clue is Mr. Carson's obese male child, which they figure out is Johnny
Fat boy
Carson.
Johnny.
So Johnny's fat boy.
Yeah, Johnny's
burger.
fat boy.
because they're like Johnny Carson.
It was Johnny Carson's obese male child.
Now
Well,
we
they
haven't had.
just said Mr. Carson, and then they went with
Oh, yeah,
Johnny.
Mr.
and-
Carson.
Now we haven't had a fat person joke in a while. So as they're deflating with the blade, which why not
Which,
just stab
yeah,
the tire?
they're just
No,
using-
because they're not trying to make him buy more tires.
No, but that's the guy is sitting there, siphoning out the gas out of the yellow Jeep. This is the blue team, by the way.
Barf is doing
They're
this.
siphoning the gas out of the yellow Jeep. Barf's
'Cause he
basically
likes
drinking it.
He likes the taste of it.
Yeah.
It's just
And then-
unleaded. Fuck yeah.
And Blades is next to the tire, and he's got his switchblade out, and
You
you're like,
know
oh,
that
he's
van
going to
is
stab
diesel.
this tire. And he just goes, huh? And then hits the little fucking
Dude,
Valve.
thing, the valve that
Also-
just lets all the air out. I'm like, just stab the fucking tire.
Yeah.
If you stab a tire, there's a lot of like air.
Well, we saw that
blowback.
in the Wizard.
saw
That guy
the
hit
Wizard,
himself
yeah.
in the face, but it's still like it's.
I'm
That's
just
why
saying,
you
if you're-
slash
he's nice.
them.
He's not a big
if
bully.
you're gonna have these guys be the
tires are
bad guy
expensive.
teams, be the bad guy teams. You know, we've already said
Okay.
that this heavy-set rich dude. Anyway, they deflate the tires, and he has the hubcap. He's like, I'm gonna keep this as a fucking trophy. I'm like, what? What is this gonna come to? And then it's him holding it, standing next to the Johnny's Fat Boy sign.
Yep.
And it looks just like Johnny's Fat Boy.
It didn't,
And
but-
now his girlfriend it didn't.
Well, it's a
You're
fat
right.
guy
You're right.
holding
It
a
didn't.
plate.
But it's a fat guy and his girlfriend. Everybody laugh.
And then he chucks the hubcap.
Look at this rich guy that eats a bunch of
Slams
food.
it on the ground.
Stupid fat rich boy.
Fat rich guy.
Oh, a little fat boy.
His
over
dad
here.
thinks he's ugh.
What, you can afford food?
So I think at this point, like all the neighbors pretty much have come in, and every time they come in, they're like, "Leon, you're making too much noise."
Oh, because we're
And
getting
then
one at a
he's-
time, or
yeah.
like a group at a time, rather.
And then he's like, "But what's going on in here?" And explains. So it's become a thing now where they're like all betting on the
we,
scavenger
we
hunt.
didn't say,
And
but
here
he
comes
does
Jack
have.
with the fucking ascot, and I'll take bets. You know, who
Hell
thinks
yeah.
the green team's even gonna finish?
But they have a dope ass board that almost looks like a board game. It's
Yeah.
a light up, magnetic
It's a
looking
map
motherfucker.
of
According
LA.
to the little old lady, it's a strategy board.
It's a
I
strategy
used to
board.
use these in the war.
Oh yeah, which war do you think she was in? Civil.
Well, I mean,
Well, that one, that's the first one. They didn't have a strategy board.
use the strategy boards in the Civil War to keep track of all the rebels. Wait a minute, we were the rebels.
When she was using the strategy board, it was in World War One. And it was when Michael Douglas was Kirk Douglas. Paths
Kirk
of
is the
Glory.
dad.
Yeah, the old one. Well,
the old one.
She was using the strategy board when those damn dirty apes were taking over. Kirk Douglas was there.
I was thinking of the movie Paths of Glory, but I lost where I was going. It's a good movie. Anyway,
We don't talk about those.
so yeah, they take the gas and the tires and everything. And the clue for at the Big Boy Burger is look between the two giant melons.
Which
Yes.
instantly did anybody here think it wasn't boobs?
No,
Okay,
How did especially the jock team?
right?
the big blue asshole?
Yeah.
The,
Fucking
yeah. Dude, they should have looked. Did you look at her
Dude,
boobs?
also-
that should have been the first thing you fucking did.
They all
By the way,
had
when you said that
tables
just now-
full of various melons.
This diner has an impressive amount of melon
Yes.
variety.
It's a burger joint, but he was like spaghetti.
They had like
and
beef
melons?
liver.
I can
They had, like,
I can let the spaghetti go, but a tray of melons enough for 5 teams?
So-
No.
This is a real place. Was a real place. Well, is again.
Ooh.
It was not Big Boy Burger. It was called like
Bob's Big Boy.
it was Harvey's.
No, that's what we had.
yeah.
It was Harvey's broiler, and then it was Johnny's broiler, and then I read a whole thing about it because it was a big thing because it's like it's one of those preserved sites for like history because it's part of what like started. It's a part of the genesis of like the Southern California car culture. Like kids used to hang out there with their hot
Gotcha.
rods and all this shit. So it's like a
Oh.
historic thing.
Let's get to the
I
let's
love
get to the
that.
brass tacks of it though. Can I get one of these burgers?
Yes, you can again because some guy
Gotcha.
ended up buying it.
Gotcha.
So it was like a car dealership for a while, and then some guy bought it, and he started demolishing it. And apparently it didn't go to the city or get permits or anything.
Oh, shit.
So all these people in the neighborhood saw it happening, and they called the cops and they stopped it. And basically, he got his 99-year lease of this place he had bought taken from him.
You know he was so pissed too. He's like, dude, if we just hurry up and demolish it, nobody can say shit.
And they had demolished most of it, but they still had the big neon sign, and they had like the part of the drive-in and stuff.
Yeah.
And then so Bob's Big Boy actually did come in, and like with the help of the community, they rebuilt it and they made it like it was originally. So it is a Bob's Big Boy diner.
Good.
Do you remember right
I
here
remember.
on the corner of Broadway and Pantano? We used to have the
Yeah.
IHOP.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
IHOP was a
the
big
IHOP,
boy.
yeah.
I used to
And
go
they
there.
used to have
The big
little-
boy with
the
a
big boy
burger.
with a thing, and then it was
Yeah.
just
I had a little
Bob's.
Big Boy piggy bank that was like a hard plastic thing that would like kind of squish, but it wasn't like.
Okay.
My grandma had bought it for me because whenever my grandma came to town, we went to Bob's Big Boy because that's from back east.
Yeah.
So they came here and they were like, "Here's something I know. Let's go there."
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing to me. I'm the opposite. I'm like, you know what I don't want? Things I can get at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like you go.
I'd rather go to
people
Robert's
who come
Little
to-
Girl instead of
people
Bob's
who come
Big
to
Boy.
work and to our job, and they're like, "Hey, I'm here from Michigan. Do you have any Michigan beers?" Like you're out of Michigan.
Yeah.
Drink something
Oh
else.
no,
you
I get people.
fuck.
That's, oh my god, that what is that? Half Acre? They're brewed right outside of my. I used to live right outside the brewery. I'm gonna get one of those. So you've had it?
Why?
Get
What-
something else.
I mean,
You
I
ever heard of
understand
Wren
getting
House?
Something you know you like, but
Actually, what am I drinking right now? A delicious Tombstone beer. Get you a delicious Tombstone beer.
This is a sidetrack. Last time I saw Bob's Big Boy was in like Wilcox.
Okay.
Or maybe it was like Florence.
Maybe.
They're two different directions,
I know.
baby.
Same thing though.
I know, but like same vibe.
One has a prison. One has all the people who are going to be in the prison.
One's pre-prison.
One has the thing, and the other one has the prison.
As the things.
So my next note here just says fucking teenagers, and I don't. Oh, because they start trashing this restaurant.
Fucking Christ.
Oh yeah, dude. So it's
they
between,
figure
look
out-
between the melons,
They figure out it's her tits.
and so they
and-
want to get a good look at her cleave.
Yeah, so they're all dropping shit or calling for help or doing whatever.
Miss, there's a
What does she
cockroach in
have?
my water.
Why? What are we looking at between?
She
her
has
titties?
a necklace right between her juggalos.
It says hug me.
I'll hug her.
And you know what? Somebody with a chest like this, you got to be watch out about putting a hug me necklace on.
I
man.
saw. I saw what it said, and I was like, I'd hug her.
Well, 1980s women didn't, have the luxury of men needing consent.
no.
You know, I mean, it was just like, your Honor, she actually had a necklace on that said "hug me," so I took it upon myself as an American to give her a hug.
I understand that she was attacked on the way home. He thought it said "mug me."
The H was a little dirty from her working all day in the kitchen, so I thought she needed to be mugged for all of her money. So I done did it.
I'll just declare.
I do declare.
No,
I'll
this-
rest my case.
This may be
I'll
an
rest it.
illiteracy debate, but our education system is perfectly fine.
I would like to rest my case and my face upon those bosoms.
They were
Amen.
glorious.
And he says amen.
Amen. It's been a hard day's night. Amen.
I rest my case. Amen.
Amen.
Does Your Honor believe in motorboats? Rumski.
What
You
about
just
them?
went
Them
straight
ones that
up
go on the
fucking boss
swamp?
nass right there.
Yeah, you did.
Usa, usa.
Dude, that's so good.
You some big old boobies.
Usa, usa, hugging me. Egad.
So they descramble. They figure out they need to descramble again for the second or third time.
Only hug me. They have only hug me to work with. After all of that,
So
they
Lynch
only
comes
hug
through
me.
here, by
Lynch
the
is
way.
like, stop.
He comes through with his fucking Rain
Big
Man powers.
brain moment.
Yeah, and he just does every iteration of hug me mixed around, and of course the second to last one he says.
Wait, say that
is
one
huge
again.
M.
Huge M. He
Huge
says
M.
it. I don't know how the leader got huge M.
Oh,
out
it's
of
called. The
huge M.
script said he did.
Oh, got it. he's got that plot brain.
It's plot armor brain.
It's plot armor brain.
He's just it's hard cat.
Yeah, but he gets it huge
I have a
M.
plot dia.
And where's the only huge M? Magneto's Island. Wait, no.
I was like, oh, here comes the McDonald's thing, right?
yeah,
Right.
right? No, they didn't get that McDonald's money.
There's only,
Mini girls.
but there's a lot of McDonald's.
They got
in
Pabst
LA.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I will say though, they're like, this is product placement I can get behind.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
perfect product placement for
I
these
wanted
things. It's not
a
forced in your
PBR.
face.
Although PBR product placement in a PG movie that's intended for teenagers probably not your best move. but
Legal
it's
drinking age was
1980.
19.
Absolutely.
It was not. That sign at the PBR fucking place there was a big sign in front of that bartender that said the age is 21.
Pretty sure
Well, they
here,
were.
I'm pretty
It-
sure here in
it- it
Arizona
did
it
say
was
that.
18, 19.
It
But
was-
if
it
you
might have
saw
been
the sign
19,
and it
but-
opened up your eyes, then you saw the sign.
Yeah. I drank a PBR and then I threw
Without
up.
understanding.
It made me sick.
I drank
a
about 6
PB.
fucking more. It made me sick.
I was barfing.
I like how Dirk Blocker's character's like crying. Like, what? He's like, this is the happiest I'm ever going to be. I know that feeling,
This is
Dirk.
the happiest day of my life. They're all just like escorting him
How
out.
did everybody else find the mini golf course though? Oh, I remember.
There's a
They
couple
followed.
times that
They
people
cheated.
follow, and I
Yeah,
kept thinking, I was like, you know what you
sometimes
need
they
is
cheated.
one team that's not doing anything but following.
Yeah.
You know, one little skeezy.
I mean, that was basically the blue team once
after their computer.
broke.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. This movie just didn't have enough going on, man. You know what this movie needed?
It had a lot going on.
It needed
was all
balls,
the wrong
though.
things.
It needed balls. This movie has 0 balls to curse, show a tit. Like, I mean, something.
Well, again, it's Disney, and it was their second ever PG movie, which means they definitely never made a PG-13.
I don't
want to
see anybody throwing up. That's not for me.
I mean, Dirk Blocker almost throws up.
He almost does, but he
Dude,
Dude, he's
doesn't.
like, I'm sick, and they start shaking him. Yeah. That's not how you fix that.
They're like, go this
Those
way,
are-
go that way.
I
those
mean,
are
I know
good
what they're
friends.
doing, but like,
They're good friends, bro. They're good friends. They're like, we're leaving you. This is your car now.
You ever see how they fix a broken wrist? They just shake your arm.
And this is how they like
It's broken.
they like pull over into this parking lot, and then armpit. One
Uh-huh.
of the guys leans on a vehicle, and then it's the blue van. They just
Uh-huh.
happened to stumble across the next clue.
Yeah.
It's lucky. I mean, it's a good thing LA is a small town.
It's pretty small, right?
Yeah.
Easy to find people.
It's real easy to find your way around. You're always going to run into people
It's
you
like
know.
when you go to New York, you can't get away from everybody you know.
I've never been.
Neither have I.
Road trip?
I won't.
So they figure out it's a huge M, which is the huge M on the mini golf course. I guess it's just called mini golf.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
Like that's
miniature golf world or something.
That's creative, kind of like Pinball City, right?
Pinball.
And what does the
City.
clue say? It says,
Wait, is the golf before Pinball City?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank
it
God.
says, do not cheat and go directly to the 18th hole.
Yeah,
Which you
it's like
know
you have to
someone's
play
going
the whole
to.
thing. Well, you knew Harold was gonna, because like you have to play the whole thing. Don't cheat. And he's like, well, obviously the clue's at the end, so let's go
Duh.
to the end. And he goes to the end and hits his ball in, and then a little note pops up, and it's like, I told you not to cheat, dumbass. Now start over and go pay again.
I would have liked if there was a
Your
better
ball's
prank, like
gone.
it sprays brown paint on your butt. Like, I don't know, something.
Sprays hot acid.
That's your clue.
Well, then the rest
Look,
of the.
it's in the bathroom, and then they all go to the bathroom.
I mean, as a punishment for trying to cheat, like, oh, look at those shit pants over there.
That's a
That's-
dude. They would
Wet
have
butt.
totally been like,
That's
go to
gonna
the
be in our
bathroom
scavenger hunt.
now.
That's our scavenger hunt. It's like, oh, I tried to cheat, now I got mud butt.
I slipped, bro. I slipped.
The red team had stopped at a fair because the dolphin twins just hopped out of the back.
And of course,
They literally
because
were
we-
like,
Gate
fair?
open.
Dude, they busted that shit. They
And we
said-
hate fat
they
people in
used
this
their
movie.
telepathy, and they were like, 3, 2, 1. They kicked that shit down.
We
They
hate
busted
fat
out of that
people.
bitch, and they got into the fucking fair.
And what do? They
Right
eat-
on the,
to the
stu-
scale.
right on the Ferris wheel.
Oh, yeah.
But they
all the
eat
ice cream.
all the food because we have our other two team members trying to find them, and there's this guy who looks sad putting a sold out sign up. Why
Right?
wouldn't you be like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm going home? It's
Yeah.
7:00 and these two walking dolphins just ate all of my iced cream.
Yeah, they're basically eating their way through the fair, and that's how the other girls are tracking them. And then when they get to them, they're sitting on a scale, and the scale says 550 pounds, but then these two girls get up, and it spins backward like 20 times. It's like,
You know what? I'm going to give this movie one good point because it's hating fat people. But when we first lose sight of these girls at like a dance or something
Yeah, they
earlier,
were dancing.
these two chicks are
the
cutting the
disco.
fucking rug at a
Yeah.
disco, and it is awesome. They're moving well. It
Yeah.
looks good. It's not shaming. Like the two team members are like, oh, look at him over there. It's like, no, look at him over there.
Yeah,
they
they're
look
getting down.
fucking awesome. They're
Well
getting down, dude.
choreographed.
More of that.
But I only mention it because they park in a no parking zone, and they get towed.
By the biggest asshole truck driver ever.
Well, every
really
tow
is.
truck
He's a
driver
tow
is kind of an asshole.
he's a tow truck guy,
I mean,
but he
because
also
that's
doesn't
the
want to
whole
be
thing.
there
Like
at
once I put it
midnight.
up, I can't put it back down.
But you don't have to say what he said. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, well, look, I work for Santa Claus.
I thought it was
And
hilarious.
it is hilarious. It is hilarious, but you're an asshole. And so are you.
I mean, it says it right in the subtitle of the podcast. So
That's true. But yeah, he's giving this old like Santa Claus, and I got it says your car needs work. I'm gonna take it to the shop for a bit. Let
Take it
some
to the
elves,
North Pole.
let some elves just gangbang this here Dotson.
your
and then this
aunt-
little pixie girl that's there with them just steals this tow truck. She just like
That-
basically hits
dude,
this dude and is like,
she's-
"Get in!"
She's got
She's-
assault and Grand Theft Auto now.
And the
Yeah.
girls are already girls are already in the back of the Datsun and the seats in the bed of the truck.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
But also, like, that chick has been a bad bitch the whole movie. That pixie
Oh,
chick.
yeah.
She was just. She
This
was
little pixie devil.
she
She
was
beat
the-
the fuck out of one
She
of the
was
football players.
keeping the ball rolling for that team.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was.
yep.
She
They're
was
at-
like, she wrangled those fucking dolphins like immediately. I think.
She's got a job at SeaWorld.
Yeah, she could have been.
Or the-
she
It's not a
could
fat
have.
joke. It's a laugh joke.
Or I.
She could have got
Iowa.
Shamu under her spell,
Florida.
bro.
She's got a job in Iowa working with the Dolphins. I'm starting to wonder where Whitney was really from.
I mean, there's a place, I think it's up in
Venus.
like Scottsdale called like Dolphin World or something.
Wait, when you say you're from Venus, are you hanging out with that chick changing in the window? I saw where that telescope was pointed, and it wasn't your anus.
Or was it?
it was hers.
It wasn't hers either.
You didn't see where the telescope was pointing. You missed the whole scene.
She showed me a picture.
Oh, okay. So then they're trying to find Michael J. Fox because he stormed off all hiffy-tiffy. Because
After they
Adam-
didn't notice him. At
Well,
the,
David Naughton Adam is his brother is a fucking asshole. He treats him like
Super
shit the whole
asshole.
time.
Oh, yeah.
He's always talking shit to him. So he storms off and he's like petting this dog that somebody left in their car, and it's adorable little dog.
It's not as cute as our dog, though.
Well, I saw this dog and I was like, that's Candy's grandpa.
Wait, which dog? Is this me?
The
going-
dog that Michael J. Fox is petting that's in the trunk of the
Oh
car.
yeah, and he's like, "Who could ever abandon this thing?
He's
Who
not
could ever leave it
abandoned.
here?"
It's in, dude.
They
The,
went to
it
the
was
store.
the trunk. It was the trunk window,
71
half
degrees.
open.
Of
Yeah,
a
the
giant
window's
station
open.
wagon.
Yeah.
This might as well have been the family roadster.
Dude, and this is 1980. You lift your kids in the car
Yeah.
with the windows up. Like,
Oh yeah, you left your kids everywhere. Who could
Stay in
ever
the
abandon
car.
such a nice thing?
I need to get cigarettes.
he's all sad
Never
because
came back.
it's his birthday.
Oh yeah,
He's
we
like,
find out he forgot my birthday.
my brother
When is
doesn't
it?
remember
Today.
my birthday.
Yeah.
Dude,
She should have gone
my Michael
right
J.
then.
Fox has turned into Shaggy.
Oh, Debra Clinger.
wait.
Debra Clinger was the.
It wasn't me. Your Michael J. Fox is Mr. Bombastic.
I forgot my birthday.
Yeah, Debra Clinger was the.
Debra Clinger was the ball that got the birthday hate train rolling. And also,
I don't think you know how trains
That's how I
work, but-
celebrate my birthdays from now on. The ball of hate train every July.
dude, the birthday hate train, dude. She was just like, we haven't spoken about her very much. Absolutely, like the best part of this movie, I think.
Yeah, the Farrah
Everything
Fawcett
else-
eyes.
No. The best part's when at the end when the credits come up, and I know
That
it's
too,
done.
but like the whole time I was like, this movie sucks. And then every time I saw her, I was like, at least she's like the good guy.
She's
And
beautiful.
she is very, very pretty, and she's not a bad actress. She's just in a bad movie.
It sucked for her.
And
But
so
like,
I
also,
know how I know her from.
she brought it back up. Sorry,
No, go for it.
you're
She
good.
brought
No,
it-
you first.
There's no apologies in this podcast.
I know how I know her from because remember it was like Debra Clinger. I fucking know who this is. My mom loved the Klinger sisters. So
What is that?
they were singers. And the
All of
Klinger
them?
singers?
The Klinger
Was
sisters.
All of them,
Was
dude.
she
She had a
one of
great
them?
voice.
It's her and her older sister.
Who does the
They
theme
were on
song
like the
for
Hardy
this
Brothers.
for this movie?
It could
I
be
don't know.
her.
Oh, that would be so.
Keep going.
sick.
Get to the internet.
All right. So the yellow team is trying to get.
If only I
they're-
had a blue van that could solve this.
the yellow team's car is fucked, right? So they're trying to get to. Oh, they ran out of gas now.
Uh-huh.
They didn't realize they
but
were running
Harold's
out of gas.
team, like,
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
they're out of gas
with
now. So
the
they're broken
tires,
down.
they siphon the gas.
So they're trying to get somewhere. So two of them, it's Adam, it's David Naughton, and then the dude who owns the truck here. They start hitchhiking, and they hitchhike with the slowest driving couple. And I don't know if anybody else here has seen the movie Mulholland Drive.
Oh, I have. Lynch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This couple reminded me of the couple from the beginning that she's like in the cab with, or the old lady that's just like laughing. It's not a couple, it's just an old lady in that.
Yeah.
But the old lady that's just like, oh, you're going to do so good. Except for it was just like, I was just like, this is a very like Lynchian shot of like this old couple sitting in this car. This dude just not moving at all.
He's barely
Just
alive.
Staring forward. Like it was a very Lynchian old couple, and it weirded me out. And then they're driving slower than you can walk. The lady is just nagging at her husband, and she's just like, and I don't want to cook poached eggs every day. Most men want scrambled eggs. Why do you want poached eggs? And he's just sitting there like, why am I still alive?
He
me
did-
now,
he
God.
literally had no argument. He was
Nope.
just like, I'm gonna go.
But
I'm
what
gonna-
are they doing out at 3 a.m. driving?
You know what?
That's another aspect of the Lynchian part of these old people.
You know what? If it's 3 a.m, they're just getting up.
Oh.
They're starting their day. When we used to drive around, like, you know, rolling and smoking when we were young enough that nobody had a place to get high at. So we're doing the rolling tokes, and you'd sit in the
Right.
neighborhoods for hours. There was always that part of the morning. You're like, uh-oh, we're way past teenagers being up late. We're up to the old people getting up early time.
Oh, shit, Dawn of the Dead.
Like, we started saying, Dawn of the fucking Dead, dude. And we're high as shit. Like, we gotta go, man.
So wasn't there a part where like the Flinch he had asthma?
It's when so he's had asthma this whole time, and it's when he's in the back of David Lynch's grandma's car, and
Yeah.
like he's really mad. They're about to give up, I think, or something. He's really mad, and
How
he's
dare you
gets
give up?
ready to take his puff, and he just goes no, and throws it out the window because this is another movie on this podcast
Sidekicks,
where
exactly.
asthma is a choice, people.
If you're strong enough,
If you-
you don't need your inhaler.
Is it a crutch or is it a thief?
It's a crutch.
Yeah, it's just something that bugs me in movies. Like, oh, it's fine, dude. It's just asthma.
It is annoying.
You don't really need the inhaler. You're just trying to look cool.
Yeah, super cool.
It's literally steroids. I'm getting strong.
Whatever happens. Oh,
To
the
predictability.
the jocks.
TV.
McMahon.
There must be some kind of magic clue.
Sometimes I hate you guys. I think the jocks are the ones who get the clue at the golf place, right?
Yeah.
They get the 14th hole and they hit it and the drawbridge goes up.
Yeah.
And it says,
Something
look
about
at
xylophones.
xylophones initially 5:30 a.m. And my first thought was, is this another music store like the piano store? And I was like,
Right?
and it opens at 5:30 a.m. It's 5:30 in the morning and they're
Yeah.
doing this. They do say it's only 2:30, but they figure out it's initially. They look at the initials
because your
LAX.
favorite Clinger on.
Oh no, Debra
Debra
Clinger says
Clinger
that.
Deborah Clinger on tears the paper and it just says LAX.
Oh man, Debra
Oh,
Clinger.
those are
She's
the
just walking around with a fucking batleth the whole time,
Oh,
battling
man.
people.
Well, that's dishonorable, killing people.
And then not Shark Tank guy was like,
David Naughton gets killed, and she just looks into the sky.
oh, his name is David Naughton. David, not Shark Tank guy.
David Naughton not on a TV show.
Not on Shark Tank. David not on Shark Tank.
He's the one that was like, LAX. Those are the initials for the LA airport.
Everybody knew
LA
that.
International
Everybody,
Airport.
Yeah.
not in LA.
These
knew that.
motherfuckers live in LA, and he's like, "What? It's the LA airport." And they're like, "Nito, you're so smart."
I kind of wanted like the jocks.
Yeah.
I wanted the jocks or something like, oh, laxative. We got to drink a bunch of laxative.
we have to drink 530 gallons of laxative.
That's
The clue is in my ass.
How did he get it up there?
Oh, Leon.
Hot.
All right, Dirk, you drink all this laxative, and a fucking armpit here will dig through your shit.
He
Well,
already drank all that beer.
I was
Isn't
going to
that
say,
laxative
joke's on
enough?
you. I drank 5 gallons of PBR and I'm going to shit
That's
myself.
basically the laxative.
So,
I think
Actually, it was
so.
a lot more than 5 gallons. That
but
was a vat.
they get to LAX. Some of them.
They all get there eventually.
They all get there eventually.
But they all miss
They all
sign.
miss the
actual
sign.
clue.
The
Yeah.
sign.
Except for Devo twins here. The
Uh,
white twin.
There is oh, fuck, is it Barf? Barf, the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Barf.
He's
like,
got his head out the observation port and he starts to read it. He starts to read like 5:30. And then, of course, fat guy McRichpants
Shut up.
is like, shut up, you.
But this was
To
like,
the moon,
this
Alex.
was like after he'd experienced Fagabeefy in all of the iterations before Fagabeefy.
Oh, and when he's reading the E, he's like, Easter?
yeah.
Elephant.
Easter
Exactly.
Easter bunny.
I think
What-
Leon
what
dosed
was-
this dude a little too
No, that
much,
was
man.
the cherry point.
No, that's the next. That's the
That's
next
the
one.
next one. So I jumped ahead, but
Yeah,
still,
but-
he's
But like was
still dumb.
Oh no. Okay, I just didn't
Yeah,
know
we're
where.
not. We're,
We're
not
getting
there.
there. So they go to they go to LAX.
They get accosted by
the
Hare
clue,
Krishna.
The clue is listen to 5:30
And
a.m.
that was immediately, that's your clue.
Oh yeah, instantly, because if you look, all these guys under their Hare
All these
Krishna,
fake Hare Krishna.
they have jeans on. They
Yeah.
have the worst looking
Socks.
bald caps, probably on purpose.
They're not wearing the orange robes. They're
Not
wearing
at
like
all.
dirt brown. They look like Rambo.
They look-
They were
oh,
like
they wish they looked like
curtains.
Rambo.
Well, not in all ways, just in their clothing.
If Rambo had a top knot,
But they're basically, they're giving them. They're like, look at our pamphlets and
please take our literature.
bro, sure.
take our literature and of course, like everybody who, and I guess this was a thing at airports, right? Because this is also an airplane.
In airplane.
And it's in other movies. I think it might be in an Ace Ventura movie too. I'm not sure, but so obviously this was a thing where there was Hare Krishna at the airport handing shit out to people.
Oh yeah.
But they're all getting pissed and ignoring him, of course. And the one guy throws the pamphlet away, and you can see it's Leon on the front. And they end up getting the pamphlets. Like somebody sees it, or somebody he's trying to hand it to one of the guys, and he takes it and like hits him or shoves him, and all the pamphlets go in the air.
And then extra ones go flying everywhere.
And then one of the guys, I think it might be Barf, is looking at the thing. He's like, "Hey, look, it's Leon."
Barf might be the smartest guy in this movie.
I think he is.
He's
He's
an
the
idiot.
smartest guy on their team for sure. Like if it wasn't for Fagabeefy, they'd be nothing.
Where would you be without the FB?
Yeah.
So they all come in, and we do get that funny bit with Blade where he's just like, "I'm not going through the metal detector. I can't leave my knife behind.
Nope. No
Knife left
They don't
behind."
No
call me,
way, no
I
how.
don't
don't
leave
call
my
me
knife
Blade
and
for
children.
nothing.
That's it, and that's all.
Speaking of wanting to be Rambo.
Yeah. Oh, but it's a little itty bitty knife.
So they find out that the clue is in the locker. Wait a second. I just thought of something.
Uh-oh.
So this guy is like the only Hispanic dude in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
Is he supposed
No, because at the golf course.
Oh, that's right. There's the family.
With
the
the
Hispanic
30
guy
kids.
with like
with,
7
and
kids.
those kids are dancing around themselves. They're like,
They're just in the way of the
They're
blue team, which
fighting,
makes me
yeah.
laugh because I'm like, that's what you get
around
for being a shit.
But it's also like that's another stereotype in this movie.
It is 1980.
Classic.
But he's the only like featured character who's Hispanic, and he has a switchblade. Is he supposed to be Puerto Rican? And is this supposed to be a guy from West Side Story?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Is he one of the sharks? Wait, was
He
it the
is-
sharks?
I was gonna say I don't know if he was a
He was a
shark or a
jet.
jet.
Was the sharks were the Puerto Ricans, right?
Yes.
That's right. They're the sharks, and then the Jets are the Italians because
Yeah, we're the fucking Jets. Have you seen our football team? They're the Jets too. Jets, Jets.
hey yo.
Both Mexican males shown in this movie had mustaches.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's 1980s.
Everybody had a mustache.
If you had a
Not in this
mustache, you were
movie,
probably a
but-
fucking idiot.
Your hair looks glorious, by the way.
Thank you.
So they find out the
What is
clue.
glory? No, I'm just.
It's a movie.
I'm just kidding.
It's a movie with Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Matthew Broderick.
Is it a musical?
No.
It sounds like a musical.
You said Matthew Broderick.
You said
so-
Denzel. Denzel's
Is Matthew
only
Broderick in
I
musicals?
was gonna say, is he known for musicals?
Yes.
The producers?
He's like huge on Broadway.
Oh, he was on Broadway when people
Okay,
stopped.
before you come at me, just know that he is Ferris Bueller and War Games only.
Godzilla,
No.
the worst Godzilla.
Not that one. Yeah. I mean, he does sing Twist and Shout. Sing Twist and Shout.
He's also Simba.
Yeah.
But so they get the next clue. It's in the lockers. They all have like a gift in a locker that's painted their color.
I think it's wrapped, but whatever.
Well, the locker is painted.
yeah,
their
the
color.
locker has.
Oh.
I would have gone through and just whitewashed everything, just be a dick. Like, I found my clue. Roller, 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 roller.
Well, they all just got convenient things on them because at the fucking golf course, the nerds had fucking the rubber pants
Yeah.
when they were looking for their ball in the water.
I
Where the
think
fuck
they're
did
called
they get those
waders.
from?
I think this Leon
Waiters.
guy
I like
is a
rubber pants.
future super villain.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just training up to have some maniacal setup to fight
I'm just
Batman
saying.
with.
Who,
Well, we'll
Leon?
have to watch
Yeah.
it.
Oh, Leon, yeah.
We'll have to watch it. Surf 2. He's a villain. He's like a super villain who's just like a nerdy high school guy that turns into a super villain.
Okay.
The angry, like the nerd guy.
Yeah.
Is that before or after this?
After.
Okay.
I think.
What the fuck is Surf 2?
Our next movie.
It's called Surf 2. There is no Surf 1. And I think it's something like Surf 2 : the end of the trilogy or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
It's the only one.
Yeah, it's called Surf 2: The End of the Trilogy. It came out in 1984, and it's the only one.
Somebody's having fun.
We're
Yeah.
doing that next, guys.
It's
Yeah.
well, not next. Next is Showdown, or no, next is
Samurai Cop,
Is your mom? I don't know.
Cherry 2000.
What did we just watch on Monday? Chuck, MIA.
next is Missing in
my
Action.
God.
We
Yeah.
forgot that completely. Next is Missing in Action, and then Shakedown.
I don't know what I'd rather watch again, gun to my head, this or Chuck.
I'd rather watch Missing in Action.
The whole show, Chuck, or a movie?
MIA, Missing
Oh,
in
I
Action.
love
Missing in
Chuck.
Action with Chuck Norris.
With Go Chuck
Oh.
yourself himself.
I'd rather
Oh,
watch
the
Missing
one.
in Action again than this because
Yeah, I think I would,
Missing in Action
too.
has explosions.
And it's 10 minutes shorter.
But so they get their next clue, and it's a picture of a clothespin. It's a picture of some guy's ass, but he's sitting in a chair. It's the letter E, and it's a red ball.
Red ball, there you go.
And the Maloney or whatever his name
Emilio.
is, Emilio. He's like, oh, that's easy to figure out. Chair E, and then the pin is a point. Cherry point.
Genuine laugh coming up.
And then
We're going
what
to
about
the
the ball?
lookout.
And he just fucking baps that shit out of
Launches it off
He's like,
the
what
table.
the fuck is up with this ball? Fuck
They're
this
in the
ball.
back of the van.
Yeah.
Dude, when vans
But
had
who is
tables
it-
and shit, that was amazing. My
Yeah.
grandma had one of those vans.
Who is it that figured it out on the other team? It doesn't matter. Some nerd figures out that it's
Oh,
actually...
I think it was David Naughton.
Yeah.
They're all looking
It's
at it, and he
Pinball
puts them in
City.
order, and it's
Pinball City.
Pinball City.
Yep.
Ah, all right.
And
So
now
we go to Pinball
We
City,
get the best part of this
and this
fucking
is when we
movie.
get Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
Rest
Yes.
in pictures, sir.
Rest
Yes,
in
rest in
pictures.
pictures,
We love
Mr.
you. Here's
Rubens.
to you, good sir.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers to Paul Rubens.
Clink.
Clink,
Little
clink,
silent
clink,
cheers
clink.
there.
Slurp, slurp.
Everyone have a squirt for Paul Rubens.
A squirt for Paul Rubens.
Squirt. Oh, speaking of that, we're recording this movie on the day of Peter O'Toole's birth.
Oh, happy
Oh.
birthday,
This
Chop.
movie, this
Happy
podcast. We're
birthday.
recording this podcast.
We're recording this movie today.
O'Toole's birth.
To be fair, he did just get a camera for us to actually do some visuals.
We're recording it.
We don't want to hear about your bedroom life.
That's what we told our daughter it was for.
So I was like, "What'd you get?" And I was like, "A camera and lights." She's like, "For what?" And I was like, "To make porn."
Just because you guys need therapy doesn't mean you have to force her into
Well,
it.
she goes, she just looks at me, and I was like, "I told you, I need more money." And she's like, "I didn't need to hear that though," and just walks away. Like she doesn't even give a fuck. She probably was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if someone's buying,
If you want to record yourself feeding me pea soup with your feet,
dude, Body Shot's pea soup on your feet, on my feet.
no, you put no. What?
Whose
Don't be
feet?
fucking weird, Ben. You put a fork between your toes and you
spoon.
No, I want it to be a fork. So don't be
They're
weird.
long videos.
You get a plastic spork and you put it between your toes. You dip it in a bowl of pea soup and you put it in my mouth. What's so strange about that?
Do I have to have clothes on?
No,
No.
I prefer if you don't.
If you don't have clothes on, then we can sell it on OnlyFans.
If you don't have clothes on, we can use you as Velcro
Okay.
because you're very hairy.
Okay.
You're very Chuck
That's
Norris-y.
fair.
You're very Chuck Norris.
It's very fair.
So they find out they have to do the Pee-wee doesn't have any lines at first.
No.
And I was very disappointed. I thought he wasn't going to talk.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
on the edge of my seat, like, say something.
Yeah. And so they find out they have to play Starfire.
Definitely not Star Wars TM.
And they have to beat the game to win. And so they're just pumping quarters into this machine. And this is my favorite invention anybody's ever made. Out of
The
all the things in
Change
life.
gun.
Pee-wee Herman, who's dressed like, I'm sorry, Paul Rubens, because he's not Pee-wee in this.
He's definitely not.
Although, if I look at the credits, I almost guarantee he was credited as Pee-wee because he was already doing Pee-wee as his like thing.
Pee-wee's Playhouse was already in
Pee-wee's
existence.
Playhouse wasn't out yet, but there was a special before Pee-wee's Playhouse called the Pee-wee Herman Show,
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
it's only like an hour long thing, and it's all the Pee-wee's Playhouse elements, but it was adult humor.
Uh-huh.
Like there's like sex, there's like a thing with like mirror shoes and all this stuff.
Oh.
And then that is what eventually became Pee-wee's Playhouse, and they just basically took out the sex stuff.
They did what they did for this movie, and they turned it PG.
Yeah, so that's fun.
There we go.
But anyway, he
They
comes
did
out
all
dressed.
the sex stuff, and it was still PG.
Yeah.
He comes out dressed like a cowboy. I mean, he's dressed like a cowboy the whole time. And the one dude is like, "Hey, we need some change to play this." And he comes out and he's got this. He pulls his gun on this dude.
Scared
and
ya.
he looks at him, and the guy's like, "What?" And like, it clearly is not a real gun, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "I scared you, didn't I?" And then just
Scared you,
turns it
didn't
and
I?
pulls the trigger and. Fucking $8 worth
More
of
than
quarters.
$1.
I know it
was
was a $1 bill, right?
That's what I
I
saw.
thought it was a $5 bill.
okay.
So this
But
could
A five
be-
makes
this
sense.
could be
Otherwise,
$5 a quarter.
otherwise, fuck the scavenger hunt. You start giving this guy dollars. We're gonna be rich.
Here's $20, sir.
but I think it was nickels.
No, they were
Oh
quarters.
no, it's quarters.
Oh.
And
It's
it
always
said
been
multiple
quarters.
times.
Oh, okay.
It's said multiple times because now we have everybody filing in. You've got Yellow Team, I think, is trying real hard. Michael J. Fox is back there watching. I'm like, bunch of idiots can't even beat the Star Wars, Starfighter game, whatever this game's called. You can't even beat it, man.
I play this every day,
I
every
fucking
Saturday.
love Star Wars.
I can win it in the first try.
Now I'm just gonna do Shaggy because you
A
already
long
did it.
time ago in a game kind of far away.
But yeah, he tells Debra Clinger, "I play this game every fucking weekend. I could beat it in one go." And of course, David Naughton, when he goes over, he's like, "Get the fuck out of here, you little shitbird! I hate you."
Yeah,
you
again,
you hate your
you're
brother.
a terrible
Yeah.
brother.
You
All
are.
he does is he causes trouble. I try to get laid. He tries to fuck me over.
And it
It's
turns out
fucked
when
up,
it comes to
man.
the end, it's like he's causing trouble because that's the only time you pay attention to him. Stop being a
Uh-huh.
piece of shit. Your parents are absentee. You're the only thing he's got. Like, but so they do give him the quarter, and he beats this game, and it takes about 8 seconds. And I'd be pissed if that's how long a game took.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the shortest game in history.
Also, a really terrible win screen. Like, it just comes up like, you won, the end.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you get Leon. So somebody knows how to fucking program video games.
The best,
Yeah.
the best part about I think the whole video game scene was everyone talking over the video game as though they knew how to play it.
No, up, higher, higher, left.
Yeah, when
That
Michael
was-
J.
that
Fox
was
was
so
playing it,
good.
all these people they've spent $20 so far trying to beat this game, and they're like, "Shoot your laser!" Someone yells, and I'm like, "Clearly, that's all you're doing.
Shut the fuck
You're flying a
up.
fucking
This
Let's
guy
play.
knows.
Play.
This guy knows all of the bombs and what they
Oh,
do.
shoot the laser. Oh.
This game is you flying an X-wing, or I'm sorry, a P-wing, and it's just the first letter I thought of, and you're trying to shoot down bow tie fighters. That's all it is. Shoot your laser is all you do.
That's it. You don't have another option.
Yeah, but he's got 2 joysticks that he's working.
Well, that's to control the
pitch in the game.
pitch and yaw.
Pitch and yaw.
Yeah.
Pitch
It's just
and
lift
yaw.
versus drag versus rotation, motherfucker.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
God.
So after he wins, everybody's like, "Yeah, good job, Michael J. Fox." And
Hey, I
David
knew I
Naughton's
could do
like,
it.
David Naughton's like, "Well, it's time to get the fuck out of here," and he just leaves and doesn't say anything to his brothers. So he ends up jumping out of the Jeep or the Land Cruiser or whatever.
They're
and
calling it
running
a Jeep.
away.
You can too.
Yeah. And he runs away, and David Naughton's basically just like, fuck that kid. He'll be fine. It's late night in L.A. This 15-year-old will survive.
He ran away. Also, when Michael J. Fox runs away, that dude is a full-out sprint. I was impressed at how quick these little legs was carrying him across this. I was like, oh, shit, he's running full on.
He's like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
If I was going anywhere, I was running.
Mission Impossible, by the
Mission
way.
Impossible. Oh, that was Sean Connery.
Yes.
Mission Impossible.
Or it's the version starring the Spice Girls.
Wait, is that a thing?
What?
Because of Posh Spice.
Spice.
Oh, I get it.
Impossible.
Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm back.
Welcome.
I don't know what this means. I wrote ball fight.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
the
so now
shooting.
the sorority
Oh.
girls get on. This is where they say quarters ready.
Oh, that's right.
And you've got all the jocks up behind the.
I read ball fight, and I was like thinking about the Wizard episode where it said ball cash.
I
And
know.
was like,
I'm
so this
really
has something
good
to
at
do with
deciphering your
testicles.
notes usually.
Yeah, I love it.
It's not my own.
No, we never did figure out what that
That
one
sex
was.
machine broke.
Let's watch the movie again. We'll
I
figure
will.
It out. So yeah, they're shooting the like things where you're supposed to shoot like little creepy inflatable clown guys, but these guns turn all the way around and have an endless amount of balls.
And
in
they're
them.
Yeah,
just
and they're
laying-
just laying on it.
Like Paul Rubens has lost the control of this room.
Yeah, he's trying to yell at them to stop, and he does a little announcement in like a
I'm
semi.
trying to run an arcade.
Can we not be adults?
He literally has a gun.
Yeah, well, they're change
It's
guns.
a change
then.
gun.
It's a change
If only
gun.
it launched the change, because he obviously just dumps it into that dude's hand. If he just pulled out this change gun and
He
started
did,
launching quarters,
but he
at
did
people-
pull them out when they started
He
having the
did.
crossfire. He pulled them out. I was like, all right, do these launch quarters, and where can I get them?
Yeah, and then he's never in the movie again.
Aw.
Sad day. But they're having a fight with the jocks. The jocks are throwing all the shit from behind the prize counter.
One of the guys is like biting heads off stuffed
Yeah.
animals like a
Chucking
grenade
them.
and throwing them.
I was trying to figure out what he was throwing at first. I was like, he's clearly pretending he's throwing a grenade.
They're like, I feel like I saw like him throw literal grenades.
What?
Like they were like they looked like grenades, but they might have been just like
toy
toys.
grenades?
Like
yeah,
toy
just
grenades.
toys. Like they
He's
look.
just
Oh,
ripping
so
the
he
top
just
off.
This is
thought
the-
he was.
So,
This,
like,
this
Kudo-
is
he's
why
like-
Nerf footballs always had a bite out of them. Is this guy?
No, that's just because it's really fun.
It is really fun
You ever
to
get
squeeze
foam in
that.
your mouth?
Well, there was always a point when you were playing with your friends, Nerf football, right? And one person's like gets all excited. They're just like, yeah.
I
And
do
you're
not.
like, thanks.
No, it was just.
There goes my aerodynamics.
Yeah. No more
They're like,
spiral.
That's the last spiral I ever throw.
But so they do see a video at the end of the Starfire game. It's Leon dressed like an alien, and he tells them the finish line is at the Bonaventure Hotel, which, by the way, according to the IMDb trivia, only has 34 floors. In this movie, it has 51.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
quit counting after 27.
There was-
Oh, well, they show
the
in the
express
express elevator, it only goes 1 and 51.
Gotcha. Oh,
so-
that's because you got to be really white and really rich to get above 27.
Unless you're the janitor.
Well, you also had to not know how to count because, like, say, like,
Check on
you will
that.
notice the difference between two stories.
I won't.
I've been doing this podcast for a little while. I can't tell the difference between two stories.
Yeah, it's true. he
No, like,
he says it a lot.
Oh, I meant 20 because it's like 27 to like 51, right?
Once again, my lack of architectural knowledge has come to bite me in the ass.
I'm pretty sure like all of the floors are like.
Are no Charles Bronson, sir.
That's true.
Because he was an architect. I
Charles
mean, not in
Bronson?
real life, but in Death Wish.
Was he?
Yeah.
He's putting my kids through college.
I'm going to Tucson to build some shit. So Michael J. Fox is sitting on yet another bus bench. And
Oh, yeah, 'cause he runs
Once
the fuck
again,
away
like
again.
Forrest Gump.
But it's like this is like a city bus, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Life
he ain't
is
going
like a
nowhere.
box of chocolates, man.
You never know when you're gonna catch a city bus.
You never know when you're going to get abducted.
What did I see the other day? I think it said the police are like a box of chocolates. They'll kill your dog.
Fucking Christ.
Dope.
Pretty good.
So he sees the blue van, and they're talking about how they need to find the finish line, and he's like, "Hey, man, I know where the finish line is." But then in the next scene, they're like torturing him.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah,
understand.
He
like,
got in
Yeah.
willingly. It was
I
like,
guess just because Harold's an asshole.
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, you smell like fucking roasted marshmallows.
It might have been like they wanted to beat the Goonies to the punch.
I don't smell like marshmallows. It's my van that smells like marshmallows. Quit calling me fat.
I smell like burnt chocolate.
Dad, he called me fat.
That's because you are fat. Ugh.
Disgusting.
That's just the worst noise to say. Like when anyone's like, just, hey, Ben, look at me. There's
What?
almost nothing you could say worse than, ugh.
Look at me for who I am as a human being. Ugh.
Dude, can I just emancipate myself from this fucking house?
So they toss Michael J. Fox out of this van when they're leaving, by the way, and it's Michael J. Fox. It
Clearly
looks like
not.
him. It looks like him.
I expected him to be
It was somebody
gagged,
much
bound,
taller.
and dead.
well,
they had
I
their
don't know.
way
I
with
guess
this young
in my head,
man.
I see Michael J. Fox slightly taller because I
But
see him in Back to the Future 5 years
The
later.
little
but,
doll that she got from Fat Boys.
falls
Oh,
out. It
yeah.
kind of comes around. But they throw him out of this van, and it's insane because it's just like, let's toss a dude out of a moving
1980
van.
stunt work. Throw Michael J. Fox out of the van
So the fight continues at Pinball City.
for a lot longer than it should.
Yeah, like come
Like
on,
they
guys.
all had the clue.
Because now the
Well,
nerds
not yet.
come up and
The
get
white
clue.
white team, the nerdy kids, the old ultra-violence kids, they're trying to get the clue, and then Hitchcock
Throws
throws
a
some
duck.
shit through the fucking screen so they can't find it.
intentionally. He's like,
No, but like they're all fighting after one of the two teams fighting knows the clue.
well, no, the green and the red know the clue.
They both know because the green team had listened to when the red
to
team was
the
hearing the
red
message.
team's
Yeah.
clue.
But then the green team gets in their Volkswagen and they go to leave, and I think he accidentally hits the truck at first.
Looks like it.
But
Yeah,
then
he-
the red truck falls into
It's
this
her
like
fault for not having the e-brake on.
yeah, I
For
mean
real.
but it falls into this wash and it gets obliterated. I was hoping for an explosion.
Me too, but we don't have
just
the
got a
budget
drop
for
car.
it. Poor little
So they're
Datsun.
now
Michael Bay wasn't
stranded.
doing these yet.
That's right. It's like the car's gonna fall and the whole wash explodes. What?
The whole wash is a wash in flame.
And then all of a sudden it's Armageddon.
And then out of the fire, I don't know why this is Michael Bay's voice. And then out of the fire,
He's
a
young.
robot comes out, and
then
it
this
says,
robot-
"Some Wiki, come with me,
Midnight Madness, roll out.
David Naughton. I'll take you to the hotel."
Melio, you're kind of a dick.
Now it's a car. All right.
Are they hiring you for the next Transformers soundtrack?
Yes.
Spot on, sir.
He's a good Foley.
He is.
Fully.
Mick Foley.
He
Tomato
changes it. No, he
potato.
changes it every week depending on
He
what you
does.
No,
say.
it's always Foley. It's always been
I
Foley.
think he waits for us to say it and he switches it on us.
I think so.
Maybe, but
think you're
not.
right.
Okay, so anyway, your husband's got really good full A work.
Foley. Oh,
Filet.
Filet.
Fish fillet.
Filet, shio.
I mean,
I am great at Foley Shio.
Sounds good to me.
Just when you ever have to fillet a fish, it's really good for smacking them. Smacking sounds.
So
I'm not going to your house.
back at Leon's flop house here,
It's Trap House.
trap house. The landlady comes in and she's got the cops with her, and she's like, "I told you if I had another complaint." It's kind of mixing two scenes. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to complain, but she brings the cops anyway.
All the neighbors are there enjoying the fuck out of themselves.
she's
Yeah.
the only one complaining.
And the cop comes in, and then he's like, "Hey, that's a super dope fucking police scanner you've got there."
You used
which
to
is
use them in all
illegal."
the squad cars.
And yeah, and then they're talking about the radio and stuff, and she knocks it out of his hand. And she's like, "Do your fucking job." And basically, he's like, "Okay." So he calls in the cops.
he
and
blows a whistle.
For
Yeah.
the second time in this movie, a whistle is blown, and cops or security guard cop types come out of the woodwork.
Immediately.
Like you're just waiting behind the
There are
scenes. Like,
roaches
I
behind
mean,
the
he's
fridge.
lucky he's not allergic to metal, and he just has to yell, "Whistle!"
whistle!
Whistle!
Impure metals don't react to my lips.
It's a good show.
At this
Great show.
At this same time, they're all discovering the Bonaventure.
Yes,
They're all
but I wanted to get
discovering
real
themselves.
quick too. So basically, the cop's like, "Sure," and he calls in the other cops, and he's like, "Arrest this woman," which we all saw coming.
Oh yeah.
And they take the chick, and then all of the people decide we're gonna go to the hotel. I mean, that was Leon's game, I think, because that's how he has to be there to finish it. But they all go with him, and the cops see them all driving away. The two cops that arrested this lady, they're like, "Wait, we should follow them."
We should
And
What do we
then-
do with
What do we
her?
do with this old bag?
Old bag. Old people and fat people not welcome in this
Nope.
movie.
Yeah, throw her in the back of the car. She can go with us. So they do that. The white team and the red team argue for a while, but they end up deciding they need to work together to create the pink team, which Steve Buscemi leads, right?
Oh yeah,
Mr. Pink.
Mr. Pink.
So
He's gonna talk about like a virgin and the do's and don'ts of tipping.
we're gonna
Yeah.
find out whether or not he died at the end of that movie.
Leave it to the viewer.
If you listen real close, you can hear gunshots and police sirens.
You fucking nerd.
That's the internet. But I do love Eddi Deezen when he's riding with Maud Flanders on the back of this thing here.
Think of the children.
And he's like, nothing's like having the power of one of these machines between your legs.
And
or
now
some
she's
shit.
just smitten with
Yeah.
him. Like,
I mean,
oh,
hey,
you.
know, good for him.
Oh, I don't know if we missed it or if it's about to come up, but the ex-asthmatic guy, what's his name?
Flinch.
He all of a sudden, these two, like, he stands.
Oh, that's when they hitchhike to the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
golf,
he
but
stands
yeah.
in front of these two girls, and they're like, "All right, well, what?" Like,
I'm
as they
sorry. He
pull up.
stands in front of a stuntman with an axle of fucking or slash wig
Slash.
on.
a slash wig. So these two hot ladies, but yeah, he's straight up. He's like, "Hey, we need a ride. Like, where are you going?" Says
Scoot
where,
over.
and they say we're going the opposite way, and he just like scoot over, and just
He's like, you're gonna love it.
takes over the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna love
And
it.
then he gets their numbers. And it's funny when he is getting their numbers, like he's writing on a pad, and then he hands the pad back to her. And my first thought, I was like, did he just write down her phone number and give it back to her? But then you see the
Thank
piece of paper in
you.
his hand.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not how getting a number works, bro.
And he looks at his guidance counselor. He's like, "See, bitches love confidence, huh?"
Basically, that's what he says. Leon and his people get to the hotel, and he goes into the lobby with like 15 people in tow. And he's like, you have a reservation for John Smith and party? And the guy's like, yeah, it's room whatever 2407 or whatever. And he's like, it's only a double.
It's only a
That
double.
was a legitimate laugh for me.
Yeah.
Because the guy is just like,
Yeah, I like that one.
Are you making a porn?
Then we get the Clint Eastwood security guard.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
We do.
and this guy, I'm pretty sure this guy plays the police commissioner. I didn't pull it up on IMDb, but I'm pretty sure this dude plays the police commissioner. It's a very small part in Cobra.
I just
towards the
recently
beginning.
watched that. I don't recognize him. So maybe, I mean, like you said, it's a small part.
Yeah, I mean, he's barely in the movie. I want to say it's like right at the beginning when they're calling him in to go to the grocery store robbery. That's
Uh-huh.
apparently very common because it happens in Cobra and it happens in Stone Cold.
Yeah. It's a very 80s thing.
But yeah, I think, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
But he doesn't like people messing around in his hotel.
No.
You don't fuck around.
All the
in my
teams are like
job.
arriving and shit. But I do love the hotel manager guy runs in. He's like, the Hell's Angels have taken over the lobby. And he goes out there and it's fucking Eddi Deezen and his friends with the Dolphin twins and these other girls just riding their fucking mopeds in circles in the lobby.
The Dolphin twins took the nerds by.
Oh, that's right. The Dolphin twins are driving.
Yeah.
I think all the girls are driving.
No,
at this point.
Eddie
No.
Deezer is driving, and the girl is behind him. Like the two smaller girls are behind the
Nothing
nerds.
you're
Pixie
saying, man.
Bad
Two
bitch.
big girls are.
At one point, she's driving because he jumps off the back and jumps over the security guard, and she's like
Oh,
trying
maybe.
to drive
I don't
away.
know.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
thank
does
you.
happen.
I just love that they call them the Hell's Angels.
Yeah.
I feel bad you guys paid this much attention to the movie.
I'm not.
They were wearing.
I'm not
red.
mad about it.
The nerds were wearing white. Hot.
What?
So he should have run in and been like, the KKK took over the lobby.
Right?
There's a bunch of
It was
white
white
bikers
and red.
here.
So Leon, to continue the game, now that everybody's there, he makes a call to the desk and he's like, hey, I need you to make an announcement for me. So the announcement is, Mr. Players, Mr. Game Players.
Mr. G players.
Pick up a
get
courtesy
to
phone.
a courtesy phone, and they all get to the phones at the same time. Oh, the one Harold picks up is red, and I'm like, no, that's the police phone.
Yeah, that's
Right?
not how that works. Are you trying to call Batman?
You
No,
calling
you're trying
the
to call
president?
the president.
Are you Commissioner Gordon?
Who was the president in 1980? Was it Jimmy Carter?
Reagan?
No, Jimmy Carter.
It was Reagan.
No, it was
No,
Carter.
not yet.
Not yet.
In
Reagan was
80, I think
mid
it
80s.
was Carter.
It was that peanut farmer, Jimmy Carter.
He calls he picks it up and he's like, Mr. President, I need peanut butter right away. But
I mean, if it is Carter, then it is going to be peanut butter.
yeah, because the fat guy's just calling Jimmy Carter for peanut
Jimmy
butter.
Carter.
So Reagan was 81. So
Yep.
it was the end of 80. Okay, got it.
It was Jimmy Carter's
That was
last
Jimmy
stand.
Carter's last year. The fucking peanut farmer.
My
Fucking
mom
You know
always
what?
said
Farmer.
you have more excuses than Carter has pills.
All I
Really?
know is
Yeah, apparently he was known for taking pills.
Good. for
I don't know a
him.
lot about the politics of the 80s other than that Reagan is a monster, but I do know Jimmy Carter is the reason that we all have jobs.
Go on.
His brother,
Oh, Billy.
Billy Carter,
Billy Beer.
was a home brewer, and
Oh.
home brewing was illegal.
Uh-huh.
So when Jimmy
Oh.
Carter became president, he pushed through stuff to make home brewing legal, which led to the first
Microbrew.
burst of microbreweries, Sierra Nevada, Deschutes, all
I
these guys in
love
the
that.
80s. So none of us would have the jobs we have now if it wasn't for
Seriously.
Jimmy
And Billy
Carter.
Carter actually was like the one that got being a redneck to be a pride thing. Like
that's not good.
everyone's like, you're a redneck. He's like, well, you're damn right I am. I'm Billy Carter.
Blue collar.
Billy
I
Carter,
don't
blue
know. I've
collar.
never really heard of a lot of Democratic rednecks.
He was straight up a good old boy, though.
Just a good old boy.
I can give you some quotes about him that would, like from him that would make your skin crawl, but I don't want to say him on a microphone.
So the next clue he gives them is to look at the pool area, and I mean expressly. And so nobody thinks of the express elevator except for David Naughton.
Yeah, because he just keeps looking up at the elevators.
Yeah, and they get in the elevator, and from the top you can see room 2704 written in chairs.
I get a laugh here when we have the I don't even know, domino effect of pushing people in a pool.
Yes.
Dude, that's great because all of the people, all of the other teams, like the jocks push one of the girls in, and then the other girls push the jocks in,
His
and then
aunt,
the jocks push
super
the girls
kicks a girl in.
and
Well, the girls have the dolphin twins. They body slam all of the jocks.
it's like two and then two and then two and then two, and then the nerds get in there somehow.
It's
The
a
nerds
Russian
the nerds
nesting
have
doll
come
of
back in,
pool
by the way.
pranks.
The nerds and the red team are dressed as like
Maids
hotel
and-
employees.
Yeah.
And they get in there, and they all get pushed in this
Bellboys.
pool. And by the way, this pool is way too full.
Yeah, it is. It's
Because
right at the edge.
there's like 16 people in this pool, and the water is going over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be this full.
It's a good thing there's not a drought coming up.
Good thing California's never had trouble with drought.
Oh no.
So they go to room. They're trying to get to room 2704. The security team is trying to get up there because the old lady dials the phone with her nose.
Yeah, 147. Like,
Yeah, she dials the security office with her nose, which
Pull
apparently,
147
according to
on a
the
motherfucking cop.
according to the trivia, that took like 30 takes. And I was like, "But just doesn't matter what she's dialing.
Just mash.
Yeah.
Just like you change the script to whatever the fuck her nose touches. Come off it.
Because all of the security is going to the top, going to the 27th floor. Harold has access to the elevator controls, so he just turns off all the elevators. So Naughton and his friends are stuck in the elevator, and so is the security team.
oh, and the security team, it starts to open right when, and you can see 2407 right in front of the elevator.
Uh-huh.
And they're trying to open it, but they can't push it open. All these big men can't open an
Right?
elevator
They
door.
can't jimmy it, but
Kind of one guy shove his foot in there.
Oh, this is where the Fox's retainer comes in,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because they never really
The
mentioned
grossest
it, but
prop ever.
yeah, he pulled out his retainer because the dude who owns the Jeep is like, "Hey, if I had a wire, I could pick this lock that would
could
make the
jimmy
elevator
it."
go?" ? And so he gives him his retainer, and he's like bending it and twisting it, and he gets the elevator going with the retainer. And then in a minute here, it just automatically works as a key. You don't have to do any jimmying.
No, not at all. It's a
he got
skeleton
it to
key.
twist all the way around.
Twist.
Twist.
The blue team runs all the way up to the 27th floor, which as soon as they entered the bottom, they were all excited. I was like, "Oh, I already know what's gonna happen.
We're
Fat
gonna get
Boy's
a tired
barely
fat
gonna make
guy
it."
at the end of this.
But
Oh,
but
you should have
Barf,
eaten.
Barf, the big guy, he's just jogging the whole
He's
time.
having a great time. He's loving
so
life.
happy.
He's walking 4 steps to everybody's one though.
And they get up there, and they both get out at the same time. Like David Naughton's team comes out on one side. Stephen Furst's team comes out on the other side. They have a face down. He pulls. Stephen Furst pulls the fire hose out, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that's a felony.
Yeah.
He uses Barf's hand to break it, by the way.
Yes, he does.
Smart leader.
Those things have a metal thing hanging on them normally, don't
Usually,
they?
yeah. Break
Whatever.
in case of glass.
Breaking case of glass.
Yep. That's what I said.
So he pulls out the fire hose and they turn it on. And as soon as he's about to spray it at David Naughton's team, David Naughton picks the lock, pulls the security team out and lets them get sprayed. So then they're like, "Oh, these are the hooligans we got called about." And they take Stephen Furst's team and they leave.
And unceremoniously, the yellow fucking team wins.
Yep. They win.
So dumb.
They get
So
down to the
lame.
main floor. Somehow they're
And
all
you think
back.
that's the end, and it's not.
Well,
Should
somehow
be.
they're all back at the main floor and having this like big
Continental
feast and
breakfast.
celebration and stuff. This is a great continental breakfast.
This is what continental breakfast used to be.
I was like, there's like giant bowls full of fruit and
Thanks
shit.
a lot, Carter.
They're already doing this, and they have the plaque that they're giving away, which the girl just slaps the Jeep's thing on the plaque,
sticker.
and it's all like sideways and shit. And then the security team is arriving with the blue team. Like, how long did they take the stairs back down?
Well, they had to rough him up a bit.
And Stephen Furst sees food, and so she just starts scarfing down.
Brainless animal.
And his girlfriend's yelling at him like, "You're ruining your diet." And I'm like, "Well, he's actually eating a bowl full of strawberries."
Yeah, he's not doing bad.
I
until
mean,
he gets to
eventually
that-
he gets
to the sausage
He gets to
pan.
the trays of sausage and stuff. But this was one of the biggest laughs for me. I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah.
He's scarfing down the food. He's just shoving eggs in his mouth, and the girlfriend is just yelling at him and trying
Yeah,
to pull him
she's
away.
just,
He
"Naggy, naggy,
takes
naggy."
this plate full
Oh.
of eggs, like a fucking whipped cream pie, and just shoves it in this girl's
launches her into a fountain.
Yes,
Yes.
it's awesome.
Loved it. I was like, it's about fucking time.
You dumb bitch.
And then we get David Naughton and Debra Clinger have the
For the
kissy-kissy.
fifth time, they get this. They're just like face and face, and he does not back down this time.
Yeah, they finally
like
kiss.
Tom Petty, he won't
And
back
then
down.
the movie. We wanted a freeze frame.
And then, well, I was waiting. She was like, they're going to kiss. And I was like, dude, they're going to get so close, and then it's just going to freeze frame. That's what I was thinking. But they
we
do
like
kiss.
freeze frames on this here show.
We do.
They do kiss. It zooms out.
Credits.
There's credits, thank God. And we didn't have to watch this movie anymore.
Yikes. One question though. Ben, why do you hate us?
It was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our job that we don't get paid for.
It is the job that I spend money on.
You can't have bad movies worth people.
You can't have bad movies be worth people.
You can't do that in general. And then also
I
you
know.
can't
I don't
have it
actually
without
think you
this.
hate us.
I think it's just like
I do.
like back then they could let them run off for like 30 minutes longer than they should have.
Well, they still do that. Movies now are like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have trimmed at least 20 minutes off this movie, or an hour 52.
Like, imagine if we did this, but imagine if we did this, and they all included it.
Well, that's the problem. You have two directors shooting everything, so they're like, we have so much
I
stuff.
wish
to
they would have
use.
shot me. Let's go around the horn and get to the Rex.
Oh, ladies
Recommendations?
first?
Ladies first.
I recommend this.
Do you?
I do.
God.
I didn't hate it.
Okay.
But you hated Cherry 2000.
I did hate Cherry.
That's it.
2000.
What's filing for divorce?
Yeah.
I didn't hate this one. I had fun watching it. I laughed. It definitely nostalgia for me. Like I remember watching shit like this back then.
I remember
And
watching shit like this.
I do not recommend this. I could not make this fun. I had me a big, giant bowl of ice cream to go with it, and it did not make it more enjoyable.
Yeah, like after 2 times, it's more than enough.
I recommend you watch it
I
no
think
more
you
than
should
twice.
watch half of it and then imagine that the good guy wins.
Because he does.
There you go.
I mean, David Naughton is not a good guy. He's a piece of shit
No.
in this movie. He's actually a piece of shit in American Werewolf in London, too, because he turns into a werewolf that eats people. But
Yeah.
kind of a shitty move.
I just-
what an asshole.
So finally you.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to say no. Watch American Werewolf in London instead.
Yeah. All day.
Yeah, watch American Werewolf instead. That's much better than this. Watch Animal House. Watch anything else that
Watch paint dry.
we've done worse movies, but this was just it was boring.
Yeah.
That was my problem. I was
Long
bored.
and boring. It's like having sex with me.
Wow, at least yours is long and boring. Mine's short and boring.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's do. All right, I'm
Is
done.
that why instead of OnlyFans, you're starting a TikTok for your sex tapes? Anyway.
I only do the 15-second videos.
Ooh, time to cuddle.
So that's that, and that's all.
that's it, and that's all.
Yep. Sorry, we just got done watching Fubar with Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger, and he says that a lot. It's good. It's good.
That's fair.
It's fun. Next week we'll be doing Missing in Action with Chuck Norris, which is also boring. And after that we'll have Shakedown starring Sam Elliott and Peter Weller, and hopefully it's exciting and awesome.
Oh, can't
You know what
fucking
I'm gonna
wait.
shake down?
Don't forget to check out Evasion. Go to all their stuff, give them money. Take care of those guys. They give us free music. Check out all our social media. Force your friends to follow us. We're on TikTok now. I'm an old man I'm sitting here like, what's a tick? And how do I talk?
I'm
I don't
like,
know how
just
to do
ask
it.
our daughter to help you.
Yeah, no shit.
But we're on there and we're getting there. We finally reached 100 followers on Facebook, so that's exciting.
Woo!
Look at us growing.
Look at you.
Look at us. We're getting big.
But we'll be back next week talking about fake Rambo. I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm Jack.
I'm still Ben.
Good night.
Fucking kill
It's
me.
a brand new game, man.
Sunshine and candies, Katie.
Sit there and let it happen to you.
Nightmare starts to get to you.
It's so bad.
What you say.
Guess what? No one's going to sue me because I'm pretty sure these people are all dead.
What you do. You're gonna fucking play.